Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember.
Hello, and we are live. Hope everyone's been doing well. I am slightly sleep deprived, but that's usual for me. That's normal. So, while we wait for people to come in case more people are gonna come in, we can do our dailies really quick. Is this the full account showcase like weapon characters, but more and more history on who you choose characters? But also, yeah, Voxy, more or less, I'm going to be showing everything I have on the account today. I should probably have planned this out a bit more, but I'll try to go through everything I have. Hey Hassan, hope you're doing well. I'll go through all the characters I got, how I built them, who did I end up using, who did I end up using, and who did I end up not using as much, what weapons I use, how my luck was. Did you see the video that went up today morning? Let me just put this here so that whoever comes does not get confused or think they missed it. I'm gonna put on the screen. Can't I put in text? Audio, game capture, image capture, text here. Yeah. Showcase soon. Just so if someone comes in, drops by, and sees me doing dailies, they don't think they were clickbaited or something. Hello, Bon. How are you doing? Oh, your Ning video. Yeah. Yes, the Ningguang video. You know, halfway through me doing it, I just stopped and I was like, couldn't I wait for Lantern Right to post this? To make this? Yeah, take your time, Bon. I just wanted to make a video sort of to lead into this stream. Felt a bit weird to do it out of the blue. Let's do the event so we can get the daily commissions done while more people drop by. Chiori, the dashing figure by some heroes, the dodging blitzes, their calling card, perhaps powerful warrior like them. Let's finding items are much different from the thing. Use rapid movement to like traverse between different platforms. I don't know. Last time during the stream, am I too? Is my audio too high? Last time during the stream, some of you are saying you're having trouble with the delay in the YouTube chat. I made sure it's off. If there's still a delay, then it's just the normal latency. Nothing I can do about that, really. Oh. Oh. Nope. I didn't mean to do that, but okay. Ah. Oh, that's... I keep confusing that.
Pick the wrong fight.
I keep forgetting to use my T. My bad. Oh, no. Okay. I don't know, I don't like this event very much. Farina Wanters will be Farina Havers. Oh yeah, she got announced, didn't she? Or I saw something about her banner. Oh boy, hope I can get her C2 if she's good with that item. These rapid movement abilities. Maybe this one is more fun. Oof, that soon. Hopefully I'll be here to be able to stream wishing for her, if I end up wanting to get her. I'm still unsure.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Oh. Oh, I can use this indefinitely, huh? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ow. Okay.
Take it easy.
Ah. Du, 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 du. Thank you. Do I still count as being hit if I do that while I'm eating? Yeah, I guess so. I thought maybe it gives me immunity.
Take it easy.
We are not. Oh no, 5 hits taken. Okay. Yeah, me too. I wish everyone the best of luck who wishes for Farina. She's a great character. I think, is she my favorite from Fontaine? Because Fontaine has a lot of good characters. Farina's definitely up there. Ooh. So, here's something that I've seen recently. I've been on Twitter and someone retweeted some AI generated video, and it's like a semi-realistic video of someone, it's like a deep fake combined with a video. It's basically an AI generated video of some person doing something. And the person who retweeted it was saying how terrible this is going to be for, basically, if a corrupt government wants to frame someone to do something, you know, or if there's going to be a psyop or propaganda, they can just, you know, generate AI, realistic AI videos of some people or someone doing something terrible to get them in trouble. And I used to like worry about something like that as well. You know, like you won't be able to trust what's real and what's not in the future. But if you really think about it, can you do that now? I mean, can't anything that AI can do, can't you already fake? You know, like, yeah, the AI might make it easier, but it's not as good. And you can still use video editing software and VFX and CGI to fake a lot of things. You know, if the government wanted to, like, for example, fake. Yeah, hello, Rahman. If the government wanted to fake some, I don't know, a video of me doing some really bad crime, you know, like I was caught on CCTV or something. You know, they can do it with AI, or they can just make basically a movie. You know, they can edit some footage, put my face over it, and then, you know, accuse me with that. I mean, look at what they do with movies and how realistic they can, you know, get those. So AI just makes it easier, but again, it's not as good. You don't have as much control.
Solidify.
Teamwork is dreamwork. Wings of darkness.
What do you think?
Don't waste my time. Submit.
My shield got broken. My E.
Give up.
Let's see if we get any good Al Haytham parts. Oh. Oops. Oh no. What do I even do? Who do I even wanna... Whose artifacts needs upgrading? No, 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 no. You have the Ningguang set. Is there anyone else here? Sorry, any other new artifacts here that I might want to try and upgrade? Okay, let's just waste some on this, even though I do not think, yeah, no. Let's just fully upgrade this. Sink some artifacts here. I should actually just look for good deepwood artifacts and upgrade them. But I don't want to waste too much time now, since we are... Oh, went into crit rate. Since I want to soon do the account showcase. I don't want to make you wait too much as well. Hey, went into crit rate twice. I don't know if it'll replace this. How's the... maybe if I want to 1-to-2 ratio. Let's see. If I switch to this, what will it look like? Oh, I don't know. They're both just as meh. Okay, how many people are here? 5. Okay, we'll do the artifact domain a few times, and then we'll Start with the account showcase. That's terrible. So, I saw you said something, Voxy. Let me read that. Depends on the situation and which they use it. AI would make it easier, but not know that it is. Yes, but my point is, people are worried that AI can do something that nothing else can do, but whatever the AI can do, people could already do that, like produce fake videos, produce, a lot of spam, for example. Yeah, AI can do that, but it's not the only thing that it can. It just makes it much easier and much worse, I guess. But I've seen like people talk about, and I've also like thought like, oh, you won't be able to trust your eyes anymore. Before you'd used to say like, show me a video of an event, so I believe you that it happened. And now you have to, think to yourself, oh, was this really a video of the event that happened, or was it AI generated? I think Fontaine is my which comment was it? I think Fontaine is my favorite region because of the lore stuff that went on. If that's the case, I just missed that. Sorry, my bad. But yes, I agree with you, Nessa. Oh. Oh, it might have been hidden then. Let me see if I can. Yeah, okay, here it is. For some reason it got hidden. Let me see. Let's see if we can figure out why. From what I've seen, AI is just used to gain sympathy for people who are bad. Also, I feel like some governments are so corrupt that they just straight up grab you without any evidence. I mean, that is true. But they can also use it to like smear you, like on top of if someone, if a corrupt government just snatches someone, people might be upset with the government, but then they can make up fake videos of them doing something terrible and be like, oh, okay, so he was a terrible person, that's fine. But I get your point, but about that. Okay, thank you. Okay. From what I've seen, AI is used to gain sympathy for people who are bad. What do you mean by sympathy for people who are bad exactly? Like bad at art? Or oh, the substats are good, but why would it be on a circlet? Let me change this back to top chat just in case. If your message gets hidden, you can let me know so I can check the message.
Stabilize. Order guide you.
Teamwork is dreamwork.
No, no,
By
no.
royal decree. It's nothing. Give up.
Gather.
Adventure time. Midnight, fantastic. It's nothing.
I see, Nessa. Well, they'd use anything in that case. The last two runs now. Before we go into the account showcase.
Stabilize. I will have order.
Everybody stand.
So after today's stream tomorrow, I hope to build Al Haytham on stream, like fully level him up and equip him with the artifacts. And we'll see what stats we get on him at the end. and maybe take him for a test drive using a team. Do you co-op when doing domains? Usually I don't. Usually I just do them on my own. I find it faster to do that. However, maybe in the future, if I want to do some like interactions with you guys, I might like have people come in co-op. I'll have to think about it though. I'm still hiding my UID, as you see, even though. Yeah, Voxy, AI will definitely keep on improving. People might be too optimistic about the rate of improvement. People say like, oh, it'll get better faster, but at the same time, things, yes, sometimes let me pause because this is important. Things sometimes get better faster than you expect, you know, and like get more popular more than you expect. Like for example, the phones. The phones are recently like pretty recent invention when you think about it. All right. And it didn't take long for them for them to turn from these big bricks that can only take and do calls to like this mini computer that you have, small computer that you can do everything on nowadays. You know, so the rate of improvement can be spectacularly fast, but also it didn't stay that fast the whole time. All right, it reached once it like reached the iPhone level. You know, once the iPhone was invented, there hasn't been much advancements in mobile phone technology. All right, like from now, the difference between the iPhone and the phones that we have now, the first iPhone and the phones we have now, is not that big. Not as much, at least, as the iPhone and then the first phone ever created. So AI might have developed really quickly. Now it went from generating just random noise and nonsensical images to now, rendering stuff that's almost realistic, you know, with mistakes here and there. But I predict it'll hit a point where it'll just slow down. I don't know, like it won't be perfect, and there's definitely jobs that will be replaced, but not much. It'll be like the microwave, more or less. You know, instead of hiring a chef, you can just have a microwave, or instead of learning how to cook, and when it comes to art. Can I please move?
Let's light it up.
I want to kill one of these two first, because I dislike being frozen.
Odds revealed. Don't waste my time. Submit.
Okay, AI will get good but never replace human jobs. Yes, Voxy AI has replaced human jobs multiple times though. It's like automation. It will definitely replace some jobs. Or at least make some jobs easier, or, you know, automate certain tedious parts of jobs. I don't see it fully... What job could be fully replaced with AI, you know? What kind of job would it be? I want you to tell me, like in chat, what kind of job do you think that AI would just completely erase? You'd never see it anymore. Because one of the most common things that I see AI has taken the place of is customer support. All right? Have you ever gone like called customer support, or actually you don't call them anymore, you go to their website and you want to contact customer support, and instead of being able to get a number for customer support or an email to send to customer support, you know, to create a ticket, you have to talk to their AI, you know, their customer support AI. And that's never useful. Their AI is never useful, their AI chat. It either doesn't understand what your problem is, or it just, you know, sends you a link to a random generic frequently asked questions tab. Cybersecurity. a lot of artists have been, but it's not going to completely replace artists. You're really only going to how can I put this? It's only when you're going for cheap stuff that you're gonna replace your artists with AI. You know, like let's face it, a lot of AI art is very obviously AI art. You know, even people who are not deep into looking into AI stuff can tell. I'm not that much into AI. I've tried it a few times. But when I see a piece of AI art, most of the time you can tell from the art style and some of the mistakes in the hands and the legs. And yeah, you can sometimes it generates something that's not very obvious. But still you don't have as much control as an artist, you know? Yes, exactly. You always need a human to autocorrect AI. Like Voxy, you said cybersecurity. I don't see that. I mean, you need something to protect your AI from being hacked or something, you know? Uh, I think it's a bit like, I don't want to say NFTs, probably, I don't want to say NFTs, but I think it's being overhyped. Like crypto. I think it's being overhyped like crypto. It probably has a practical application. AI has a practical application and something a lot more boring than making art. All right, there's a lot of tedious calculations and tedious, complicated work that AI can probably automate that people in jobs would be happy to use AI to do that instead of having to do it by hand or to do it manually. But all people are using it now is like create terrible art, and it's very inefficient when it comes to because I hear AI takes a lot of energy, so it's very inefficient in those terms in terms of energy consumption. Plus, it's relying on more or less unrestricted access to the internet to feed itself information will cause it to poison itself. It'll start taking in AI generated images. It'll start learning from other AI generated images, which will overall lower the quality of what it can output in terms of art, if we're talking about art, for example. Meanwhile, if you're using it for a very specific, let's say you were, I don't know, let's say you're a researcher working on researching specific genetic disease, and you need to do a lot of research, you need to look through all the gene sequences. I'm talking, I'm talking just as hypothetical. I don't know about this, but let's say you need to go through a very long list of gene sequences, you can do that by hand, you can do that manually, and it'll take a lot of time and it'll be really boring. Or you can, you the researcher, set up an AI to do that for you, teach it what to look for and what to not to look for, and let it do it automatically while you do something more important. But something like that isn't as exciting for the average person as, oh, you can draw with AI, you can become a great artist. It's like cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency probably does have what's it called? A practical application. Cryptocurrency and even NFTs to some extent. I'm not sure about NFTs, but what ended up is that it got really popular, cryptocurrency, and all what people used it for are to make meme coins. Get people to buy into meme coins, saying that they'll get rich, and then they scam them. And that's about it. And I think a similar thing is happening with AI. Yeah, that's honestly nothing comes to mind because I feel like we need humans to autocorrect AI errors. AI, in opinion, is a tool, not a solution. Yeah, exactly, Nessa. Of course, it won't replace all artists, but artists won't make as much money as they would if AI wasn't as good as it is. Hmm. I maybe, what could happen is that uh, it could also cause people. Hmm, I'm thinking maybe artists might also become the opposite of what you're saying might happen is that artists would start earning more money because their art, in contrast to what AI could do, seems like a premium now. You know, like you can buy AI would be like microwaved food, all right, and art made by an artist, commissioned by an artist, would be like food that you had a chef make for you. But then, of course, then it'll raise the bar of what kind of artists will be able to make it, you know? Like, it'll be more difficult. You'll have to be a more skilled artist. The floor for being an artist will get raised. But they might earn more, you know? Like, people still pay a lot for paintings. And digital art is a thing. Not to compare the difference between hand-drawn paintings and digital art, but to AI in art. And calling it AI art is a misnomer. It's computer-generated images. Let's be real. You know? It's computer-generated images. Call it what it is. Calling it AI art is like a very genius marketing term that stuck, unfortunately. It's like what they call air fryers, you know? It's like them calling air fryers instead of mini convection ovens. All right, I guess we can do the account showcase now. Do you have any plans for who you're going to save for from now on? Yes, Tim. I'm saving for basically anyone who's good with Al-Haytham. First character that comes to mind is Nahida. All right, I want to C2 Nahida because I hear she buffs his damage a lot. I've also heard that Furina might be good with him. I'll have to look into that. If her teams, because I also heard that if you want to run Furina with Al-Haytham, you need to change Al-Haytham's artifacts. You need to use a different set. If that's the case, then I might skip Furina. If not, I'd like an excuse to get myself a Furina. I like her. But for sure, I'm going for Nahida. For sure. Because currently I'm using Dendro MC instead of her, most likely. Oh, I don't. Oh, that's good to know. I'll still do my own research though. That's not true. Farina is his best teammate. Looks like I'm going for Farina then. Oh, I'm gonna miss this view once I do that mission. It's so beautiful. You can still use Gilded with Farina. This is good on Al-Haytham with Farina, but I don't think it beats Gilded. Yeah, I think that's the set one that I've heard. I'll look more into it. In any case, after this week, after the stream that's going to be tomorrow where I build Al-Haytham, I'm not going to be streaming for a while. I'm going to be working on turning the streams that we already did into videos and shorts and whatnot. But then, after I'm done with that, hopefully we'll resume streaming. I just also need a break. I've been working a lot. What else? Let's read. That's not true. Farina's his best teammate. We've already read that. What if AI could make a video indistinguishable from reality, like make deepfake nudes of someone and that person can't prove themselves? Okay, that's a great point, Voxy. That's what I was trying to talk about earlier. That was something that I was worried about as well. Like, what if AI, you won't be able to trust your eyes anymore in that case, right? How would you ever tell if something is fake or not? Now you can tell if something is fake, or you suspect something is fake, you can ask for a video. If people cannot provide you a video, then it's fake. But then you think about it some more. If you really wanted to, you can already do what you're talking about, deep faking someone's nudes. You can already, like, if you're really good at editing videos and such, and like VFX, you can already do that. You can already edit a video of someone with their face in the nude. It'll probably be more tricky, all right? But if movies can do it, you know, if it can be done in movies and such, I mean, the whole Iron Man suits in most of the later Iron Man movies, it's all CGI, all right? And sometimes I believe they, you know, strip someone naked also in CGI. They removed Superman's mustache in with CGI. They can remove their clothes. It might make it easier with AI, but it can already be done, is my point, which is why I'm not as scared. Also, Alhaitham doesn't need Nahida. You're already getting enough Dendro damage from him. From his Dendro plus Dendro will give you nothing. Well, I need... Don't I always... I always need someone... If I want to use my Alhaitham on Gilded, I need someone on Deepwood. And right now, my only options are Kali or the Dendro Traveler. Or recently I got Kirara, I guess. I can use that as well, but... But do you perhaps have an email we can send art to? Oh, Nessa. I do have an email on if on my YouTube channel, on my YouTube about page. But if you're gonna make art, I might also you might also want to check out my Twitter. You can, you know, send it over on Twitter. I might make a hashtag where you can, you know, post your art with a hashtag and I'll see that. Thank you very much, Nessa. I know you said you don't know, not promising anything, and that's fine. I completely understand. But we can talk about, I can get back to you on that. You can, for now, you can send it on the email that is on my YouTube about page. I think it should be there, if you check. AI is scary. Yeah, it's already started happening. Some people who don't know a lot about AI can be easily fooled by such images. Yes, Bon, but they also can be fooled by Photoshop images. You know, the same people who are fooled by AI images are the same people who are fooled by, like, Photoshopped images of, I don't know, Jesus on a tree. You know, they found Jesus, a tree in the shape of Jesus, or the people who were fooled by edited videos of, like, angels in the sky spotted. It's the same people. It's, you know, it's nothing new, is my point. Yeah, it's gonna make it probably worse, but it's not completely new. It's not completely dystopian. Have you considered going for C6 Dainsliff? If you start another grind right now, you will barely get enough in time. I thought about it, and I'm still thinking about it. Depending on how fast I can get everyone else that I need for Al-Haytham, I might go for C6 Dainsliff. See, before I got C6 Al-Haytham, or before Al-Haytham was even released, I was thinking about, okay, who would I want as a placeholder? Because Al-Haytham was not released. I looked at all the characters and I thought, none of them really, I don't like any of them really all that much, you know? So I think it was like around here that I started. These were all the characters at the time. You know, who would I go for? Who would I go for if I had them right now and I was going to do the wishes? I'm going to choose a placeholder character for it. And the placeholders were, at first it was Zhao. Alright, because his C6 sounded fun. That his E gets refreshed with plunging attacks. But then it became Kazuha. Because, again, his 6th constellation was, you know, made him a main DPS. Made him cool. They were placeholders. I didn't really consider them. At the end, I said, if they release no one that I like, then I'll go for Dainsliff, because I really like him. And I might do that again. It might be a fun thing to do again. After I get Nahida and Farina and maybe Aimiko, I might start saving up for a C6 R5 Dainsliff. If he's playable. You know, they might go the Signora route, which that would be disappointing. we might already be able to edit it, but it's very time consuming compared to just adding prompt and getting an image and almost instantly making people able to do it with multiple people multiple times. Yeah, Bon, I agree. That's my point. It'll make it easier and more prevalent. That's so scary. Not everyone can do that, like CGI or VFX, but AI makes accessible and easy. Yep. Nahid is an amazing teammate for Al-Haytham, especially at C2. It's very easy to use Deepwood on her, and her burst EM buff helps him a lot. Yeah, that's why I want to go with her. Twitter, sadly I don't use it. No problem then, I'll let you know another way. Hell yeah, I'll eventually cook something up then perhaps. Yep. Since you love Al-Haytham, I'd say go with his best team, Farina, Cookie, and Nahida. He deserves the best, so since you're C6, you can just use C2 Cookie and be fine. Since then, she has 100% uptime. He's 99% confirmed playable. Now they would never dare to kill him. Their placeholders in game files. It says he's a sword user. Already? They already have placeholders for him? Interesting. Very well then. Yeah. I might. Unless they release someone else that I really like. But I don't, it's unlikely. I really liked Al-Haytham. Not to say I dislike the characters that I've been pushed on. I really think, like, I think she's cool. I think she's really cool. She's alright. I really like Qian Yun. Even though I thought I wouldn't, based on her crow form. You know? People usually make images like that for celebrities, but with the rise of AI, it's gotten a lot more common to do it with people who just exist and are close to the poster. Yeah. But I've also seen people do that with Photoshop, Bon. But yes, I get it. It makes it easier for them, even if like you don't need to know Photoshop anymore. You can just open up an AI and do it. Which is a shame. We can't predict the future exactly. It might get better. You know, AI might get better. It might get worse and be abandoned. I hope for this. I hope for like a mix. I hope like the art, the image generation portion of it doesn't get improved a lot, but it's going to be useful in some other cases. Okay. Account review. Account showcase, sorry, time. What do we start with? Let's see. I'm going to make a poll to choose what do we start with. What would the options be? I guess teams. Do we go through the teams first? Or do we go through the characters first? Or what else? Yeah, we will move the topic. Did I spell characters wrong? Yes. Weapons. Other items. In the meantime, while I give you time to vote, let me show you the world. So, I've showed this before, but I'll show it again. I've been busy the last few years. I haven't had the time I would like to do all the exploring that I want. So, I've done Mondstadt, you know, even Dragonspine. I've done Leeway when it started. I've even done the Chinyu Vale a bit. Still missing more than half, but I've done a fair amount of it. The Chasm I haven't done much of at all. I want to explore the Chasm. Then we move on to Inazuma. Again, I started on Narukami Island. Still haven't progressed much, but I've unlocked this area, the other islands. Whereas Inkanomiya I haven't discovered at all. I need to go back to Inkonomiya, even though I loved that place. I loved Inkonomiya so much. But sadly, I didn't have... Oh, actually, that's more than I remember doing, but I really like it, and I hope to have time to explore Inkonomiya some more. We moved to Sumeru. I explored the jungles a fair bit. Not thoroughly, but a fair bit. However, here's the biggest problem. I'm missing the desert. This I hope to do live on stream with Al Haytham, using Al Haytham. I'm gonna steal your cookies, hide them. And then we have Fontaine, the newest region. Again, I again didn't do a lot of exploration because this year was very busy for me at university. Hopefully I can do more this summer. So yeah, I'm not that caught up on exploration and a lot of world missions, obviously. I still need to do this mission, but yeah, a lot of side missions I still have. Those are a lot. I don't know if all of them would give Primogems, but some of them do. They're going to be a nice source. This is the one that I'm most sad about. Oh my god. These I'll do on stream. Every Sumeru character I'll do on stream. The others I might do off stream. But yeah. Cookies and milk. Show your food. Let's show my food. Even though no stealing. Alright? No stealing my food, Rahman. With video guys, a lot of freezy Primogems. I know Tim, but I like to do the exploring on my own. I don't like to follow video guides when exploring. I follow video guides when I'm farming a specific item, you know, a specific material. I will. You should be careful. I don't have any cookies. So. Okay, so this is the food that I have. My most used is, of course, the Sweet Madame. However, there are two more that I use. There's the one that's also popular, the Delicious Adeptus Temptation. It's a great attack buff. Whenever like I'm doing a domain and I'm missing just a bit of damage, you know, I need just that small damage boost to be able to one-shot everything. I'll eat this. Alright. Hello, hi! How are you doing? But the most underrated food is this, a Buoyant Breeze, or if you don't have Venti, the delicious Barbados Ratatouille. This is, I think, the best food in the game. Alright? I used to have much more Sweet Madames, but I've eaten through them when I was trying to heal. But this is the best food in the game. Because it gives you stamina, it's great for exploration, it's even great in fights because you can keep sprinting and dashing around more to avoid enemies. I always use it whenever I'm exploring or whenever I'm doing like a long Archon mission or something, like the Aranara quest, for example. It's not an Archon mission, it's a side mission, but I know there's going to be a lot of walking and running. I'll always eat this, and I'll pair it up with my... that we'll get to in a moment, my exploration team. And we'll get to why in a bit. We are going to be upgrading Al Haytham tomorrow, hi.
We should look for a new investment. Mora doesn't grow on trees.
Okay, I know. Let's see what people said they want to see first. Okay, characters. Looks like people want to see characters first. Let me read chat through one more time. There's another region in Fontaine, like Economia. Yeah, the underwater city. I saw that. I have to do that as well. Cookies and milk and a little bit of reading goes a long way. Yep. Oh, yo, bro, how are you doing? Yeah, hello, Lieutenant Hughes. I'm doing well. How are you doing? Heard Deya's was a really good story. Haven't done it yet. Yeah, I think Deya is really cute. And I did hear something about her story also being good. I haven't really heard about anyone's story being bad, except maybe Raiden, the Raiden Shogun, because people were excited to see what the story of Raiden Shogun is going to be, and it was just basically her walking around the city, doing nothing. I'm done with the story quests. Rahman said, 400. I'm good. How about you? Yeah, I'm doing well. Hi, Flying Sonic. Hey, Flying Sonic. How are you doing? No improvements on Al-Haytham yet. Like I said, it's gonna be the upgrades. I'm gonna upgrade him tomorrow. You know, unlock all of his constellations, upgrade all of his talents, upgrade his level, and ascend him, and you know his weapon to R5 and fully upgraded tomorrow. I maxed out Sab's meats too when trying to cook as many for Al-Haytham signature dishes as possible. I might do that as well. I might do that, Bon. It's a good idea. Cook the max out the signature dish of Al-Haytham. Congratulations, Flying Sonic, on Al-Haytham. Thank you, Rahman. Kokumi's story made me so bored. I deleted it out of my brain. What was the story? I forget. Did I even do her story yet? Let me check. I did. Seems like I also deleted it out of my brain. But I liked Kokumi as a character. You know, she's a sleepy girl who has to lead the whole army. I couldn't catch her live, but watched it later. Really liked the stream. Oh, I'm glad, Lieutenant. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yep. Okay, so you wanted to see the characters first. Let's go through them one by one, I guess, and talk about how often I use them and what kind of builds I use on them. Starting with the feature of today's video that I made earlier. If you haven't watched it, I uploaded a video today morning. You can watch it after the stream if you want, but it was basically Ningguang propaganda. All right, my most used DPS. I like to say that I'm a Kaya main. All right, but realistically, Ningguang is my most used DPS throughout these last 3 years. Okay, and I'll get to why in a moment. First, let's go through her stats. All right, HP, attack. Who cares? Everyone just wants to see the crit ratios. I have fine crit ratios. I have very high crit rates, but my crit damage could be higher. If I switched out the circlet to a crit damage circlet, I wouldn't have crit rate. I wouldn't have nearly enough crit rate. So this was the best that I could come up with, and it's enough. The weapon that I got on her, I was actually really lucky. For the longest time, I think I was using the Eye of Perception, I think. Yeah, I think I was using the Eye of Perception because I didn't have any other option. I didn't even have this yet. But then I got this from the standard banner, and I've been using it on her ever since. The Skyward Atlas. Good attack percent. And good elemental damage bonus. It basically buffs everything. I know the Sacred Prayer of Wind or something might be better since it gives crit stats. But this is good enough for a free-to-play account who's not wishing. You keep saying my name wrong, and each time you're committing a little blasphemy, you're basically calling by one of God's names. Oh, how do you pronounce your name, Rahman? Oh, Rahma. I'm sorry. But don't people name? Isn't Rahman also like someone's name? I'm bad. Sorry, my bad. My brain just automatically changes the last H to N. My bad, Rahma. I'm really sorry. Yes, that's without a crit weapon bond, which is why I'm happy about it. I got another Skyward Atlas from the standard banner, but I didn't I don't think it would be worth it to refine this one, to waste a whole other 5-star weapon if I'm going to be short on them. Just for like a 3% increase here, and maybe a 40% increase here. Yeah, I think that's what maybe confused me, because I'm pretty sure I've seen the name Rahman. Actually, I can just remove this since account showcases now, so no need for this. Yeah, back to the. I should stop getting sidetracked a lot. Back to the build. This is the weapon on Ningguang, and these are the artifacts. Now, this was before Fontaine. With the release of Fontaine, we'll use a different set, but I'll explain why I'm using this. So I'm using 2 Shimenawas and 2 Archaic Petra. You know, basically attack percent and geo damage bonus. Some people use full Shimenawas, and that would give you better, stronger charged attacks and normal attacks. All right. Some people like to use, I forget what's it called, the one that helps you get more charged attacks. Yeah, the Wanderer's Troop for stronger charged attacks. And I forget what else people use on her, but I prefer this because Ningguang's damage comes from all over her kit. All right. You get You get a lot of damage from her charged attacks. You get a lot of damage from her screen, and you get a lot of damage from her ultimate as well. So I want the artifacts to buff everything, and that's why I chose the 2-piece attack percent and 2-piece geo damage percent bonus. However, with the release of Fontaine, there's an even better set that basically does this, which is this one, the Nighttime Whispers. I'm currently farming a replacement set for Ningguang. It basically does the same thing but better. The Nighttime Whispers 2-piece is an 18% attack bonus, similar to the Shimenawas, and the 4-piece set bonus is a 20% geo damage bonus. All right, so that's already better than the Archaic Petra, which is only 15%, you know? So you're already getting a 20% damage bonus. That's a 5% increase. But also, you get more when you're under like a crystallized shield, you know? You'll get more from that. 150%, which would probably mean 20 plus 20 plus 10. It'll be basically 50% geo damage bonus. Now, this is only after you use your elemental skill, but whenever you're using Ningguang, you're always spamming your elemental skill anyway. We'll get to why in the constellations, but your elemental skill resets when it's destroyed, and you can destroy it with your ultimate. And you always have it. So, here are my current pieces. Alright. Crit damage, crit rate, pretty good. With some energy recharge, which is nice for her to get her ultimate quickly. The Feather, 13% crit rate, 6.2% crit damage. HP and Elemental Mastery are wasted. The Sands, again, crit damage, crit rate. Very good. The Goblet is the off piece and has pretty good crit damage and crit rate pieces as well. The only piece that I don't like a lot is the Circlet, and it's always the Circlet and the Goblet are always the most difficult pieces to get. I got crit rate and I couldn't get a better one, you know? I think this one was a contender, but the energy recharge from this one is just better for the build. Like you have to say, build parts. Ah, yeah. Abdurrahman, like you show respecting God. Yeah. My bad, Rahma. My bad. I'm sorry. The domain is cursed. I only get the healer set from there. Yeah. Farina C2 next? Probably, from what I'm hearing. Probably Farina C2 is next. And her constellations. So, constellation number 1. Her normal attack become AoE. The AoE is very small, but it becomes AoE. It doesn't come up as much. I'm not sure if this applies. I don't think this applies to her rocks from her charged attacks, but they feel AoE to begin with. This is only useful when you're using Venti and you have enemies grouped up with his ultimate. It can be useful to like kill Hilichurls all at once or something, but Hilichurls would have died in Venti's ultimate altogether. So this is not that useful, but you have to start somewhere. Alright? Now C2 is really good. C2 is amazing. I'm surprised it's not something like C4 or something. C2 makes it so that your E will reset, whenever it's shattered. Every 6 seconds, your E will reset when it, like, you can cast your E. So what you can do is you can cast your E and then use your ultimate and then cast it again. Alright? And that's very strong. So what I end up doing is that I use my E, I go through it, and I used to do like 3, go through it, use my ultimate, and then use 3 auto attacks and a charge attack, and then another E. But with C6, this combo changes a bit. Okay? This one's just upgrading her talents. This one is useless, honestly. It just increases the nearby enemy, it gives you more resistances, but I'm always using her with Zhongli, so this never comes up. This is a remnant of old character design. The first characters that Hoyo released, they were not as specialized. They'd have some offensive capabilities, and they'd have some defensive capabilities. Something that a lot of people forget is that Ningguang, her E is supposed to be half defensive because it blocks enemy attacks. Blocks opponents' projectiles, and it scales with your HP, so they expected that at least some people would build Ningguang using HP, and use her as like some sort of sustain unit, maybe? But that didn't happen. Her C6 is what I got last Lantern, right? And it's chef's kiss, alright? It's already satisfying, to throw rocks, homing rock barrages at people, like I said in the video, alright? You slap down your E, you go through it to get the passive buff from the talents that we'll see, and then, you use your ultimate, you get rocks from your ultimate, rocks from your shattered E, and then you can throw out some charged attacks and auto attacks, and it'll just hit the enemy, and it sounds so satisfying to me. This makes it a lot more satisfying. Whenever you ult, you get 7 Star Jades. Those are basically what you charge with your normal attacks. Usually you need to normal attack 3 times to get 3 Star Jades so that you can do your max damage charge attack. This doesn't only skip that, it gives you one that is even more than twice as strong. All right, let me see if I can do a demonstration real quick with any boss that's not annoying. Let's take come on. Let's go here. We'll find anything and I'll show you. I'm sure some of you know this, but there should be Hilichurls around here, right? Dunda, 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 dunda. Let me just get rid of... Oh. Yeah. Okay, there he is. A big boss that we can use. That's working. I'm glad, Rahma. Alright. let me just put on... Nope, I meant this. Yep.
Stabilize.
Okay. So, this is your E. You can use it to block stuff, usually. And usually what you want to do for your Star Jades is you auto attack, and you see I got a little rock behind me. It might be a bit difficult to see given Zhongli's shield, so I'll let Zhongli's shield expire. You see there's a little rock behind me, and when I charge the attack, use a charge attack, it'll get fired. So I can do 1, 2, 3, and I have 3 Star Jades behind me that I can use. Alright? And they'll go fly to the enemy. Oh, I didn't mean to kill him.
Gather.
However, let me see if I can find someone who's beefier. Let me find the Ruin Drake. I'll show you what you can do with the ultimate real quick. Yes, perfect. So, we need someone who's a bit more a bit more tanky. Suffering from success. They're overworld enemies. Overworld enemies are overall weak and they die to anything. So usually your combo would be to E, do 3 auto attacks, a charged attack, and then use your ultimate. Alright, wake up. Wakey wakey. What we can do now, instead of doing all of these auto attacks that I told you about, is once you E, alright, and use your ultimate, both your ultimate and your screen will turn to rocks. But see, now I have 7 rocks. And I can just charge attack right away. Oh. Oh. And this is just Ningguang, without the buff from the Zhongli shield, without the Bennett buff, and without the supplemental damage official. And you can see, if I do this, if I get him to break it, it's difficult for him to break it, but if I find some way to break the shield, it will reset. It's much easier to do on like large enemies because you cannot spawn geoconstructs right on them. Okay, see, I think this will work. You see my E reset immediately because when I cast it, I broke off my old E. So now I can cast another one immediately. And you do this, you do this. Oh, well, not that, but this. And then this. And yeah, he dies. So these Star Jades are the C6, and they're really useful. They're really, like, really useful and really satisfying to use. Yeah, basically she becomes Ningguang from the Liwei cutscene when she was fighting the Sile. She becomes Gilgamesh and she opens up the vault of her rocks. So that's what the last constellation does, and that's why I kept getting her every lantern right. And of course, her talents are all maxed. I triple crowned her. Alright? Her normal attacks are just usual normal attacks. They can be a bit janky because the animation is random. You know, you can you can get these, but there's one where she does a twirl, and that takes a bit longer, which makes her feel a bit janky, but you're not auto-attacking much on her at C6 anyway. See, that twirl is random. There's no way to predict it. I think it might be the third one. Oh, it is the third one. Okay. But that's why she feels a bit janky, especially if you want to charge attack right afterwards. It's not that big of a deal, especially on C6, but there's that. The E is, like I showed you, the geo screen. Thankfully, there's this passive, where if you go through your geo screen, alright, whatever character goes through it gets a 12% geo damage bonus. So I always go through it. You start with it in a fight, and you go through it. You know, you cast it on an enemy, run through it, and then do all of your combo. Even if I'm playing Zhongli, sometimes I decide to run through it with Zhongli before I use my ultimate, even though I don't think it's that worth it then. And then the ultimate, which, you know, fires barrages, and if you have your E, it fires even more. Like I said. this passive just makes it so that if you are... I don't think you need me to tell you this, but yeah, if you have Star Jades, your charge attack doesn't take stamina, so you can spam charge attacks as much as you want. Yeah, so that's it for my Ningguang. That's her build, and like I said, I'm trying to switch her to this build. But I still need better pieces. I don't like the circlet that I got so far, even though looking at it right now, it's not that different from the one that I have on Ningguang currently. I guess it's missing the energy recharge. Maybe I switch them soon. But yeah, that's it. And since we're talking about Ningguang, alright, we're gonna talk about her best man. Alright, the person she's always with, and someone who I mentioned in the video. Zhongli. The only downside for Ningguang that I feel is that I always need Zhongli with her. Without Zhongli, it feels incomplete. Alright? Why? First of all, let's look at Zhongli himself. I have him at a disgusting 54,000 HP. Because all this man has to do is make me turn my brain off and not take damage. Alright? Very few things break this man's shield. Alright? His shield... when I'm playing with Zhongli, I more often die from forgetting to use his shield, to refresh his shield. You know, his shield would run out of time, and I would take damage then. More often, much more often, than his shield getting broken. You know, I'd say 90% of the time, I forget to refresh this shield. And only like 10% of the time, the shield gets broken. And that's why I take damage. So he takes... I built him full HP. I used the Black Tassel, which is a 3-star weapon, simply because it gives him HP percent. And... we hate slimes here for some reason. Then I go for his artifact set, which gives him, again, extra HP bonus. And the four-piece effect is useful if you can position your pillar near the enemy. I don't worry about it as much, but it's there. Alright, and we can look at the pieces that we got. We have, of course, HP main stat, but also a good HP substat with a significant amount of energy recharge to get his ultimate off cooldown. Flat HP, HP percent, and energy recharge is all you care about for Zhongli. HP percent, main stat, flat HP, and energy recharge in the substats. Again, flat HP. Sorry, HP percent, flat HP here. Would like more energy recharge, but his ultimate is not the important part. Should you get Yelan for your Arlecchino, or should you get Zhongli? I'm not the correct person to ask that, Lord Diablo. You could probably ask the others in the chat. I heard someone else has Arlecchino, so you can ask them who's better. And of course, HP percent and energy recharge in the substat. But everything is HP, alright? These two, this is flat HP, this is I'm forced to have attack here, and everything else is HP percent with HP substats, or energy recharge. Thank you, Dio, for the sub. Thank you very much. Steam Skazuha Bennett. Hello, Dio. So, all I built on this man is HP. He gets 30,000 HP from artifacts alone. Further, I don't know how much, 46.9% from his weapon. And his talents are not... I got 9 here, and his auto attack is at 1 because I never use him to auto attack. I could probably, you know, upgrade it if I have nothing else to do, but now that I have Al-Haytham, I wouldn't. I considered crowning his E, but his E already doesn't break. Alright, so I didn't see the point in giving him a crown. And it's not like it'll increase his damage or his geo resistance shred. Now, why is he needed with Ningguang? His shield gives, first of all, something very important is interruption resistance. Like I said, Ningguang, his charge attack does a lot of damage, and if you get hit during the charge attack, it'll interrupt the animation and it'll feel really bad. You'll have to do it all over again. With his shield, you don't have to worry about that. You know, you can tank a hit, you won't take damage, and you won't be interrupted, and you can let your charge attack go through. Alright? Moreover, they gave him a buff. I remember there was a controversy when Zhongli was released that he's weak. Then they buffed him. And now, not only is his shield, you know, really fat against all damage, but you get this, which is the elemental resistance shred. See, the thing about Ningguang and Geo DPSs in general is that you cannot scale their damage with reactions. You know, Geo does not do any reactions. If it's a Pyro DPS, you can use, you know, you can maybe give them a bit of elemental mastery, you know, on the side from their supports, and then, you know, have a Hydro sub DPS, you know, like run Diluc with Xingque, and you'll buff Diluc's damage through Vaporize. Run him with Diona and Sucrose to get more EM so that the Vaporize hurts more. With Ningguang, you cannot do that, alright? And she doesn't even scale with defense or HP like a lot of other characters, you know, like Ito and Shiori, I'm pretty sure, and Goro to some extent. I don't know if Navia does, but they all scale with defense or sometimes HP. Ningguang, the only thing she scales with is attack and crit rate and crit damage. Alright, that's the only thing that affects her damage. Okay, so the only other ways to buff her damage is to shred the resistances of the enemy. And that's why Zhongli is really useful. He shreds the physical and all elemental resistances by 20%. Alright, which really buffs her damage. Plus, you get the Geo Resonance buff when you have 2 Geos on the team, which is fulfilled with this. Enduring Rock. Increase shield strength by 15%. We don't care much about that when our shield is already that fat, but you get increased damage dealt is increased by 15% when you have a shield, and the geo resistance of the enemies is decreased by 20%. Sorry, I'm feeling really hot right now. It's really hot where I am. I don't want to turn on the fan because it'll mess up with the microphone. So that's why Zhongli is really, really important. And these two are the two that I use the most.
This wine tastes the same as I remember.
We'll get to Bennett. Now, once you have these two, you know, you probably already have Zhongli because he's really good. So if you already have him, then you can build your Ningguang and have like a Geo team ready to go in case you need that, or if you just want to have fun. Alright, but if you want a Geo team and you don't want to go spend wishes on Ito or Chiori or Navia, but although I heard Navia goes well with Ningguang, you can just go with these two. And then the next 2 spots are completely optional. Alright, just use whatever you want. Most of the time I use Fischl and I use Bennett, and I'll go on why I use these 2 exactly. And then I'll go through the other teams that I can use with Ningguang later. So, Fischl.
I created another universe and founded paradise. For I, Fischl, am the Prinzessin de
Yes, thank you, Fischl. Anyway, these are her stats. 54% crit rate, 100% crit damage. It's 1 to 2, you know, crit ratio. Pretty good. And I have her on Windbloom Ode. She used to compete with Venti for the Stringless, and I ended up giving Venti the Stringless and her the Windbloom Ode. I might have switched. I keep switching them around because it's really close. But I think I ended up giving Venti the Stringless because he uses his burst more than Fischl. See, the thing about Fischl, I'm not going to explain her talents because you already know her talents. But something you might have not known is, you know how you can refresh Oz with the ultimate? Still, Oz doesn't count as an ultimate, you know? when you do that. You know, you refresh him with the ultimate, yes, but he still counts as your E. You know? So upgrading your ultimate doesn't increase his damage when you use your ultimate. The only damage it increases is the initial damage when you first transform into the bird. When you first transform into Oz, you deal a bit of damage around you, and that's the only damage that's affected. Otherwise, it uses your E's damage. So that's why I felt like Stringless might be a bit of a waste on her, and I ended up giving her this, which, using an elemental skill, you're always going to use an elemental skill on it, and increasing her attack is always useful. Let me go through chat a bit. I haven't read chat in a moment. Seems Kazuha, Yilan just subbed. I mean, yeah. Interruption. It's basically... yes, Vaughn. The whole team is basically comfort over damage, though I don't want to say they don't do a good amount of damage. They probably don't do an insane amount of damage like other characters, but they still get the job done, especially in the overworld. Small amount, yeah, C6 is good with her. You can use teams like Radikino, that's shield or attack buff, circle impact, pyro or combat supremacy if you manage to get both in line. Use them all in the team together. Yeah, I think you're talking to Lord Diablo. Okay. I didn't have many Favonius weapons before. I think the only one I gave to Kale. I got now a bit more after I did the wishing session, but I didn't own many more, and I needed the Favonius Warbow on Kale more than I needed it on Fischl. You know, Kale's only job is to ult, so that's why she got the Wind Blue mode. Her artifacts are probably could be better. This is one of the first characters I built, like very early into the game, even before I started saving up. No, I went for a 2-piece Electro, 2-piece attack damage. I don't think anything is that crazy. You know, stocked up on energy recharge and crit, even though I don't think crit is that important on her. It depends on what teams you're going to play her with. Maybe with like aggravate teams and quicken teams, crit is good, but at the beginning, I think Elemental Mastery would have been much better on her. But now crit will be good on her, since I'll probably use her with Al-Haytham while I get Cookie built. I don't think Fischl needs ER though, so Stringless is very good on her. Well, the weapon she has right now doesn't have ER, it has EM, so it's fine. I have some good energy recharge, a bit of energy recharge, a bit of elemental mastery, and a good amount of crit damage here. Double crit and attack percent substat on the goblet, which is really nice. And the off piece is the circlet with crit rate as the main stat, and some energy recharge in the substat and the elemental mastery. I could probably improve this. I could probably improve the entire build, but she works. Most of the time you're using Fischl as a battery and for some supplemental damage, which the reason why I have her with my what's her name, Ningguang's team, is because of this, like I explained in the video. It basically strikes, does more damage strikes. It's not that much more damage, but it's small amount of damage is nice, and the energy she gives is useful for in case you're a bit low on energy. You're not usually low on energy with Ningguang given her double cast, but yeah. Regarding her constellations, I have all of them except the last one. Early on in the game, they used to give out her constellations like, you know, cupcakes. You know, they used to give her out every event, and they gave out a lot of her constellations for some reason. Yes, Bond, I have a lot of stringlesses from the Latham Weapon banner. I don't think Fischl needs a year. Yeah, you could get a second R5 stringless. Yeah, I haven't sat down and like looked at what I can refine now and what I cannot. I've been really busy working on some stuff, working on some of the videos, you know, and some other stuff in real life. But I'll need to like sit down and like reassess what I need to do. Like I'll get to it soon. So how often do I play Genshin? I tried to play. Saying I try to play every day feels a bit weird, you know, like, oh, I try to play every day. It's like, you know, it's like a religion or something. But no, I try to do my daily commissions every day. I haven't had time to play properly in a long time, which is why a lot of my exploration is missing, and a lot of the missions, you know, side missions, character missions, I haven't done yet. But I try to at least do my daily commissions and do all the events every day, you know, so that I don't miss out on Primogems, which is really important for me for, you know, Al-Haytham. And like you saw, I think I crowned her E, and I left everything uncrowned. I might upgrade her her auto attacks once I get her final constellation, because then she gets her auto attacks buffed. But until then, Fischl, you know, she's Fischl, everyone has her, and you know how she is. Nothing special about her. Bennett! The real 6-star of the game.
Adventure team, assemble!
Yes. You know, full HP and as much energy recharge as possible. And as the highest possible base attack. Alright? Probably don't need me to tell you how to build Bennett, you know, because he's so good, and I'll do a poll just to make sure. Do you know how Bennett's built? I'm assuming a lot of you do. In case you are not, I'm just curious to see if I'm overestimating or underestimating. Okay. So, why do I have him on Prototype Rancor? Well, it's the highest base attack weapon that I had before I did the wishing. I never had any 5-star sword before I did the wishes. Alright, so ignore all of these. I can probably even do this. Alright, so these were all of my swords. Alright, and Bennett's damage buff from his ultimate scales with his base attack. Base attack means the attack that the unit naturally has without any weapons. Alright, plus the base attack from the weapon here, ignoring whatever is the secondary stat. So if this secondary stat is attack percent, it doesn't count. It just counts the base attack here. And that's about it, from what I know. So you level him up to 90 and you fully ascend him to get as much base attack on his levels as possible. And you give him the weapon with the highest base attack. And of all of the weapons that I have, you see this is 510, this is 450, this is 565, which is the same, but it's on Kaya. This is 510, this is 454, this is 510. So this is 565 as the highest base attack weapon that I had. I don't care about the substat, I don't care about the effect, right? All I care about is that it buffs his ultimate damage buff more. Alright? That's the thinking behind this. His artifact, I went for a Noblesse artifact set because it just felt like it flows naturally. See, you already know that when I'm ulting, I already know when I'm ulting with Bennett is that I have a damage buff that I can use, alright, with his ultimate. And the Noblesse Oblige artifact set just adds on to that. Okay, so I don't have to remember another character like, oh, I've ultied with, I don't know, Venti or something. Now I have a damage buff that I need to remember to do. This I can completely forget about that I have this, and I'll still get the benefits from it all the time. Exactly, Bond. That's a really good. That's correct. That is something that I plan to do. When I was doing the wishing stream, I said I will tolerate one chlorined weapon, one absolution. Why? Because I can hand it to my Bennett. Because Absolution has the highest base attack stat possible when it's fully leveled. Certain other weapons also have the same base attack, but Absolution also have it. And thankfully I got only one Absolution, which I will level and give to Bennett eventually. Eventually I'll get to it. And it will increase his damage more. Again, I don't care about the substat being crit damage, and I don't feel like I got, you know, cheated out of a passive, since her passive only works with Bond of Life. I already don't care about it when it comes to Bennett, so it's perfect for him. give him ER and HP. Yeah, I can probably do better on his ER energy recharge. He's at 212. I could probably try to bump it up some more. I find that I need a bit more. But you know, I figured I built him enough. I could move on to something else at the time. So 11 ER from the flower piece, 9.7 ER from the feather. I even went for an ER pocket sand, you know, pocket watch. ER on the goblet. Everything has ER except, of course, circlet, which is always a pain. It has a healing bonus. He heals really good. I don't think I need more HP on him. His healing is really great. I just need more ER on him. And like you see, I've already like tried. Nearly everything has ER. Yeah, Zenchan, I already have 4-piece noblesse on him. I'm at 212. I often find myself, you know, spamming E on him to try to get his ultimate up. So getting more ER on him, even if I have to sacrifice some HP, wouldn't be a bad idea if I want to min-max him. But like I said, I don't enjoy min-maxing stuff a lot. As soon as something is usable, I'll move to something else. Otherwise, you know, I'd spend way too much time on him. Think before you refine, please. Unofficial pyro icon. We should use Twitter. Yep. Good. What the fuck is this? Bennett show stats. Sketching Bennett score. Team. I don't know what you're talking about, Aman Verma. If I think Kitching, Bennett, Kole, and Chong Yoon is a good team. I haven't used Kitching, but I also don't see the synergy much. Why is Chong Yoon there? 300 something ER. Yes. Show Venti, by the way. Yes, Zenchan, this account has been created, you know, it's been here since the start of Genshin. I started playing. Yeah, we went through the artifacts. I had the constellations up until here, I believe. Yeah, I had up until C4 before I did the wishing session on the Hyatham's banner. Which is good. I got the last two on Hyatham's banner, and I'm not gonna ever upgrade this, I think, unless they introduce the ability to toggle on and off. What's it called? To toggle on and off constellations. Otherwise, I won't. I of course crowned his ultimate. I've surprisingly upgraded his normal attacks. I think I was expecting to do another team using him and Chong Yoon. But, yeah. No point. I don't know why I got his E so high up. You don't use it for much except for, you know, generating energy. You can, there is a build with him and Chong Yoon and Melt Bennett, which is really nice. Otherwise, I don't bother. Don't bother upgrading his auto attacks or E. We move on to Albedo. I don't remember why I even got him. I remember his trailer used to be cool. I really liked his trailer. He used to be a cool character, so you don't see him much nowadays. Unfortunately, I do not use him as much as at all. His skit is very, very fragmented in what it wants to do. So these are the stats. You can look at them. The crit rate is not that very good. I didn't bother to upgrade his crit rate and crit damage because I don't use him all that much. See, the issue is he's a Geo unit, alright? Before I get to the build, the issue with Albedo is he's a Geo unit, alright? And Geo units don't care about reactions. Okay? Why, oh why, which ability was it? Yeah, why oh why does he have a passive that gives his team elemental mastery? Yeah, maybe he is good for Navia. I do not know. We'll get to Kaya in a moment. Why did I give him elemental mastery here? I have no clue. Alright, I would go through him. As you see, I got his abilities level 9, but I never end up using him. If you're curious about his weapon, I have his signature weapon from the event, which is really good for him since he scales with defense. I'll just speed through him before I go to another character. And I built him on 2-piece Archaic Petra and 2-piece attack percent, you know. You can have a look through them. It's nothing all that interesting. I didn't end up using him much. Maybe if I had Navia, like Dawood said, I would use him more. But I just couldn't justify using him with Ningguang and Zhongli. Alright? Don't have constellations, don't have anything else. Let's move on to to a more interesting character. I saw some people wanted to see... Yeah, you can use with Navia and Yunjin. Maybe. Let's go with Venti, since Zenshin wanted to see Venti. Venti. I know people say he's power crept, and I understand why. Not a lot of enemies now are grouped up by him. However, I still really like having him around. You don't need crit rate or crit damage on him. You know, all you need is energy recharge and elemental mastery, which I have more than enough elemental mastery on him. Energy recharge could be better, but he naturally generates so much energy that I never have energy problems on him. Alright, I have him on the stringless. I'll probably R5 this soon. His artifacts is full set Viridescent. We'll show Kaya later, Lieutenant Hughes. Albedo is good, Albedo is gorgeous. That is all that matters. Yes, you can use with Nothing Engine. Nice EM 800 is still great, even old 800 EM is good. Yeah, and he basically delete whenever I need, I know there is going to be a group of enemies, small enemies that I can group up with him. I'll use him. I'll even use him with Ningguang. All right, I'll place official, and I'll use him with Ningguang if I know that there'll be a lot of small enemies that can be hit with his ultimate. So this is the flower, some elemental mastery, crit rate and crit damage you don't really care about. Elemental mastery and energy recharge, great. Again, attack percent, crit rate you don't really care about because all of his damage is swirl. Right, swirl doesn't care about crits, swirl doesn't care about attack percent. It's purely based on EM. That's why I have an EM watch with some energy recharge, an EM goblet with again more energy recharge, anemo damage wouldn't be useful for you here, and an EM circlet with more energy recharge. Yes, Bon. Though I prefer if they were sent through on Twitter, since I don't want my email clogged up with stuff. But if you want to send it through your email, yes. I might actually make a specific email for fan stuff, for fan art. I'll make a community post if I make an email specifically for that. Alright, so watch out for my channel. I make a community post if you want to send in any sort of fan art or anything else you created. You can send it on that email. Oh, thank you, Nessa. Hope you have a good day. Bye-bye. Damn, Senshin. Unlucky. Oh. I'd be happy to see it, Nessa. Sorry, Lieutenant Hughes, I do not have a public Discord yet. I'll think about it, but if you want to contact me, there is Twitter and there's Reddit. Both of those I use, so you can send me stuff through Twitter and through Reddit. I think I linked them on my YouTube channel recently, so you can get the links on my page. I can end the poll here. So 50% said yes, 50% said no. Genshin just hates me. Well, Genshin, it's just luck. Don't be too worked up about it. I do not have any of his constellations, of course, and I level 9'd everything. I'm surprised I didn't crown his ultimate yet, because I was thinking about crowning his ultimate. I don't know if it would matter. Usually whatever gets caught in his ultimate dies anyway. No, Genshin, I don't think Withering Waves is gonna replace Genshin. But I don't want to get sidetracked speaking about another game for now. We are doing the account showcase. If you have questions regarding Genshin and the account, then feel free to ask them. Otherwise, we can talk about Withering Waves some other time. Or maybe after I'm done with this. The Traveler. Let's keep the Traveler to the end. We can keep the Traveler to the end. Because I built him on all of his elements except Hydra. We'll go by order here. Actually, we'll go do Kaya since I think Lieutenant, you asked for Kaya, right? Yes. So Kaya, I cannot show you Kaya without showing you his exact team, but I'll start with showing him to you on his own first. Alright. So, I have him on almost 200 crit damage, but only 22% crit rate, which seems bad, but it's actually the optimal thing for the team that I have for him. Alright? And I'll show you why. Right now, just trust me, okay? I have the crit damage Blackcliff weapon that I got from the Paimon Bargains shop. Alright, gives him crit damage. Now, and I have him at C4. His talents are... I have triple crowned my Kaya. I hope to get him at C6 eventually. I can probably buy him from the shop if I really wanted to. And I might do it. But I usually feel like I better keep that currency for wishes. Now, why do I have him at only 22% crit damage? Set bonus is correct, Lieutenant Hughes, but I do not have Rosaria. So, his artifacts, okay? And 2 set bonus is cryo damage, yes. But then, you get 20% crit rate when you hit an opponent affected by cryo, you know? So that's already 20%, a free 20%. Then you get a 20% further increased if the enemy is frozen, all right? So if I'm fighting a frozen enemy, I have 40% additional crit rate from the artifact bonus itself, all right? Then, if you look at the constellations, we have this. If he fights an opponent affected by cryo, his normal and charge attacks, which what you'll usually be using, is increased by 15%. So now that's a 55% crit rate increase. But that's not it. Because you go to the party information, we go to the team. This is his team. It's a freeze team because of course we need the enemies to be frozen. And we go to the elemental resistance. So far we have 55%. Then we have, if you're fighting against frozen enemies or enemies affected by cryo, you get a further bonus of more crit rate, 15% more crit rate. So that goes from 55 to 70, I think. 60, yeah, 70. That's 70 bonus crit rate. Now you add that 70 plus the 22 that we have here, and you're at basically 90% crit rate from this alone. Yeah. But this was the first team that I basically came up with before I even like wished for anyone else. Before I even built Ningguang, I had Ningguang, but before I started building her properly, this was the team that I came up with, and I was very proud of it. And eventually, you know, it got popular, and everyone else figured out the same team as well. The team basically is Kaya, like we mentioned, for those reasons. Then we have Shinkui is basically a good hydro applicator, so we can freeze enemies more easily. Chongyun, so that I can give my Kaya cryo infusion. Ayaka and Shenhe, I believe, give themselves cryo infusion. Kaya doesn't, so I use Chongyun for that, you know, to give him a cryo infusion so that he can do more cryo damage better than any physical damage. The last spot should be Jean, alright, with the Verdescent Vendorier set, so that she can swirl cryo and gives elemental resistance shred. But since I do not have her, and I think I didn't even pull her yet. Yeah, I didn't even pull her in the pulling session. I went with her little sister for some healing and more hydro application. But this ideally would be Jean, to be both our healer and our, what's it called? VV unit. Unfortunately, this team doesn't get a lot of use because firstly, cryo trades damage for, you know, crowd control. And most enemies do not get frozen. Or tough enemies, rather, do not end up getting frozen. If I'm fighting a boss, I can't use him. There's no point in using this team. If I'm fighting like a weekly boss or even one of the world bosses that, you know, I need to farm. Sometimes I use him in the overworld. Sometimes I use him in the abyss if I need a freeze team. Other than that, unfortunately, I do not use him as much as I want to. I really want to use him more, but I don't. Yeah, good luck with that, Lieutenant. I hope you do get it. So that's my Kaya team. I can run through his artifacts, so you can see I prioritize getting as much crit damage as possible. Sometimes I got lucky and got like something like Elemental Mastery, which is not that useful. But yeah, some crit rate, but most importantly more crit damage. Some energy recharge and crit damage. See, I can probably squeeze more crit damage out of him if I farm that domain some more. Cryo damage bonus and some more crit damage. And a crit damage circlet with a bit of crit rate. Again, probably could min-max these artifacts better, but they do the job well enough. I'm not interested in going in that much painstaking detail. So, let's go with Mona. I got her on the standard banner, I think, and I think I lost a 50-50 once. Sadly, I do not use her much. I'd like to use her more. I just do not have a lot of times where find that she fits. She's a good unit, I think. She can help you. I've her on full ER, I think. Yeah, 230 ER. And 357 EM. She can really buff your damage and help you do like one big nuke. I tried it once with Luke. It's just her abilities, like I read them and I understand them for a while, but then I forget how they work after I stop using her for a while, and that's why I think I don't end up using her much. I'm afraid that I'm wasting time. Usually, if I just want the Hydro Applicator, I just use Shinkui. Shinkui, I think his name, yes. But if I could, I would practice her more and, you know, use her more. She'll definitely buff your damage more. Upgrade her E and her ultimate. And she's on a full Emblem of Severed Fate set. Okay, now how do I say your name? That's how I'll call. Hello, I'm sorry you couldn't catch the last stream, but you can watch the VOD, that's completely fine, and hope you have fun in this stream. Alright, Zenshin, have a good day. Yeah, so just went for Elemental Mastery and ER on this. Elemental Mastery, crit rate and crit damage don't matter. Elemental Mastery, energy recharge main stat. Hydro damage, I don't know if that's right. Though she does vaporize, I guess, so that's fine. Give her Noblesse, Mona. It could be an idea to give her Noblesse, but usually the thing is, whenever I use Mona, I'm using her with Bennett. And Bennett already has Noblesse, and the effects do not stack. But I'll consider that, Zenshin. And a crit rate. I guess when you're using her for a Vaporize team, the crit does matter. Not as much as the energy recharge and the elemental mastery on her, but they do. I haven't touched her in a long while, which is why I'm not very familiar with you know, how I built her. I wouldn't say she's bad. I'd say she was not my type. She was overly complicated for me. I'd like to sit down one day and like fully understand her and make teams specifically around her to use her more. But yeah. Move on to Tartaglia. Fun fact, I only got Tartaglia because I was trying to go for Ningguang Constellations. His first banner had Ningguang as a 4-star. So I wished on it, trying to get Ningguang's, ended up getting him by accident. I haven't tried the Abyss yet, Lieutenant. I'll need to try it later. Unfortunately, I've never been able to clear the last floor. Well, I've been able to finish the last floor of the Abyss, you know, floor 12. Never been able to get all the stars there. So, this is my Tartaglia, and this is my build on him. 50% crit rate could be better, but it's fine. And 144 crit damage. Energy recharge is fine. Elementary mastery is non-existent. I only use him in a Vaporize team. I've had him for a long time. Fun fact, I've had him for a long time. Never built him. For the longest time, I've never had him built. Mostly because I never had a good bow for him. You know? I only got the Hamayumi relatively recently, after I did exploration in Inazuma to unlock all of the stuff. Before, I didn't have anything to put on him. This isn't good on him. This is not good on him. Energy recharge. This is not good. This is not good. All of the bows that I had were all support bows. If I was gonna use him, I was gonna use the messenger on him, which is still not good since its passive is about charged attacks on weak points, and usually he just uses his E. Alright, so for the longest time, I did not use him. However, recently, I managed to get this bow from Inazuma, so I built it, and I built him, and I wanted to practice using him to try to wean myself off of Zhongli. You know, I don't wanna get too used to. Oh, I already got too used to Zhongli, but I want to practice being able to dodge again. And his teams are good for that, and his teams are a bit more technical since you have to worry about swirling Hydro, then applying Bennett's ultimate and snapshotting Xiangling's ultimate, and that's why you know, I started playing him a bit more. And he does a lot of damage. He does a lot of damage. Respect. I hate him. You hate Tartaglia? I really don't know what to call you. Surprised face. I'm gonna call you surprised face. He's not built yet. Al-Haytham is not built yet. Tomorrow, I already have all the materials I need. Tomorrow, I'm gonna fully level him up, fully equip him, and give him his artifacts, and we'll showcase the Al-Haytham. But just so you can see, I already have all of the constellations I need, you know, to unlock him, and I have 5 copies of his weapon. So everything's there. All the materials are there. I'll be upgrading him tomorrow. Really? Weirdly enough, Rahma, from my experience, I'm assuming you are a lady, based on your name, unless I'm mistaken, in which case I'm sorry. But in my experience, all the girls and women that I know really like him, personality-wise at least, for some reason. I do not know why. I know why. I understand why. He's like a bad boy, nice guy. You know? He's a psychotic cutie patootie. I believe at the same time I started streaming today, you can see it on my channel. If you go to the live tab, it'll show you that there's a stream scheduled, and it'll show you the time in your time zone exactly. Surprised face. Anyway, I gave him the Hamayumi because it's the best weapon that I could get for him. And I gave him his signature artifact set, which we can go through right now. Crit damage, crit rate, not that high, but could be better. Yeah. I guess you like a manly man, Rahma, huh? You who's your favorite male character then in Genshin Impact? Rahma. Anyway, yeah, like what I was saying, the flower, one moment, let me check for you. I'm not very good with time zones. I did schedule it at specific time. My channel, view my lives. It is scheduled for. Let me look it up. I think it's about 4 p.m. GMT. Surprised face. I think it's 4 p.m. GMT. You can go to my live tab on my channel. Find the stream. It's called Building C6 Free to Play Al Haytham, and just click the notify me button. It'll tell you when I'll go live, and if you click the notify me button, it'll send you a notification when I do actually go live. So yeah, if you come tomorrow at around the same time, you'll be able to see it, hopefully, a bit earlier. Oh, you like Nuvilet or Risley? Okay, see, Risley, okay. Risley is a bit like, okay, how can I say? He's like the other side of the coin of Tartaglia, all right? He's also a criminal, but a nice guy as well, you know? Tartaglia is, you know what I mean. You know, they're both criminals, but they're also not both nice to you in some way. But I guess Risley didn't try to commit, you know, mass murder on an entire nation. Yeah. And Oubliette is a good option. I assume you also like Zhongli, if he wasn't poor, that is. I'm assuming you're talking about Risley did nothing wrong. Okay. Crit rate, crit damage, and hydro damage bonus, and good crit rate, circlet, maybe more crit damage on the substats, but yeah. You get what you get. Talents 999. No, I did not crown this. It's just his passive, remember. It gives him one more auto attack level. Zhongli is evil to you. Is it because he, like, colluded with Fatui? And with the Harbingers? He's a bit sketchy, I gotta be honest. He's a bit sketchy about, like, he's hiding stuff from us. My Diluc. I think my second most used DPS. I was really happy when I got him off of, was it the standard banner? Back when he was, you know, the strongest unit there is. He was the guy. You know, when people thought about who's the best DPS in the game, it was Diluc. He was the guy. I was very happy I got him. And the best I can do for him for the longest time was the craftable free-to-play. Claymore. I'm not gonna give him the debate club, that's for sure. I'm just gonna give him this, because everything else is energy recharge. The thing doesn't matter on this one. Physical damage doesn't matter on him. This is the best option. Everything is elemental mastery, energy recharge, whatever. During the Alhaitham pulls, I managed to get a Wolf Gravestone, which he'll get as soon as I have time to upgrade it. That'll be his from now on, as a reward for sticking with me for this long. But yeah, for now he'll still have to deal with the prototype archaic for now. Now this is a set you haven't seen in a while. Witch's Flower. We haven't shown his stats, I forgot. 61% crit damage, 105 crit rate, sorry, 61% crit rate, 105 crit damage. Pretty standard, pretty meh. I know mid, good enough for me. He's usable. I don't care about min-maxing him as much. If I can kill the enemies and clear the abyss. I know I don't finish the last one, but I doubt it's because I'm missing like more crit rate here. If I can kill the enemy, I don't care about killing them 5% faster. And my artifacts are crit damage. These are like the first artifacts that I farmed, so they're not very good. I didn't have an eye for artifacts yet. Elemental Mastery, crit damage and energy recharge. Crit rate and crit damage is good here. Everything else is useless. Crit damage, energy recharge, and an attack percent here. And finally a crit rate circlet, and unlucky with no crit damage substats, unfortunately. Oh, moving on to the next character. We're gonna skip over Goro because I only got Goro recently out of the music event. I thought about building him to put him with Ningguang. However, most of his buff doesn't benefit him. Usually you put him with Ito because his damage defense bonus, is useful for characters that scale with defense like Ito. Ningguang doesn't, so the only buff I'll get from him is increased resistance to interruption, which Zhongli already fits that, and a bit of geo damage bonus, which it's fine, but it feels like a waste when the first two buffs are useless for me. Yeah, I could have him on a secondary team. I'll probably use him with Noelle if I ever fully build and you start using Noelle as a DPS. I can clear floor 11. Floor 11 is fine. Floor 12, I can't. I never was able to. I think the maximum that I got was 2 to 3 stars on floor 11 out of 9. But usually, I can only clear it with no stars if I can clear it in time at all. And I don't think... I'm not saying, and I'm not going to use my account has no wishes as an excuse, that I didn't wish on my account as an excuse. Probably a good player can. It's just a skill issue. I'm just not good enough to do it. Alright? We can try that maybe tomorrow after I upgrade the Alhaitham and showcase him, because I expect that to be done quickly, because I'm only upgrading and showcasing one unit as opposed to everyone, like I'm doing right now. So maybe then, after I upgrade Alhaitham, we'll go into the Spiral Abyss and see what we can do. We'll try a run on floor 12 with and without Alhaitham. I don't expect to be able to clear it yet, because even though Alhaitham is going to be busted, I still won't have Kuki upgraded. I'm going to be using a budget team with Alhaitham, Fischl, the Dendro Traveler, and Zhongli, most likely. And I'll explain why tomorrow. But yeah. Like I said, don't care about him. Right now he's only a placeholder for Ningguang's artifacts, new artifact set. Same thing with Noelle. I got her, never ended up using her. Even though I got a lot of constellations on her accidentally. Once I get C6, I'll consider building her as a main DPS with Goro as a second Geo team in case I ever needed 2 Geo teams for the Spiral Abyss. I'll build her. Alright, Otherwise, don't care about her. She's just holding a random weapon. You don't have to care about it. Ningguang, we talked about this. I only got her on the release of Fontaine. She's not built yet. I only leveled her up. I leveled her up only so I can use her on the whale boss, because I need a Fontaine character to use that Fontaine element, weird element thing. I forget what it's called, the Osea or something. Enigma Thrust. Yeah, I need Osea or whatever the other thing is called, pneumonia or something. To be able to kill the whale quicker. Other than that, she's just a placeholder for Cookie's weapons and artifacts. Which we can have a quick look at. The artifacts that I have for Cookie so far: elemental damage, some crit rate, some energy recharge and crit damage. Elemental mastery, some attack percent and energy recharge and crit rate. Energy recharge substat with elemental mastery main stat, same thing here. But no energy recharge in the substat, and elemental mastery on the circlet as well with some energy recharge. Again, I do not use her. I only use her for the whale weekly boss and for some exploration as a budget Yelan. And I'll show you the exploration team once I'm done with the characters. Next, Sucrose. Fun fact about Sucrose. I wanted her for the longest time, and I never managed to get her. Why did I want her? Not because I wanted to use her, but because early on the game, I wanted her passive. This one, where whenever we craft character or weapon enhancement materials, she gives us 10% more chance to obtain double product. See, I had it in my head that it would be a waste to craft any material without using her passive. And at the time, I didn't have any other character with that passive. Yeah. So, it was at the same time as well that, at the time that I wanted her, was at the same time when I was building Kaya. You know, when I was leveling up Kaya. At the very start of the game. And what Kaya needs is the Fatui drops, you know, for his ascension and his talents. Oh, you did. Yeah, she is the... I hope... Did you play the event in Dragonspine where that Palad pushed her away and everyone was mad at that NPC? That was a good time. So, anyway, back to what I was saying. You need Fatui materials on Kaya. And at the time, I felt like it would be a waste to craft the Fatui materials when I didn't have Sucrose. So I thought I would keep killing Fatui until I get the blue drops as a hard drop, you know, instead of crafting them. So what I ended up doing is going on a mass unaliving run, alright, on all the Fatui that I can find on the map and collect an ungodly amount of the insignias that I refused to craft because I wanted them to drop the blue ones right away, drop the green and the blue ones on their own. I didn't want to take the white ones and craft them before I had Sucrose. Hello, Crunch. Crunch. I'll just call you Crunch. Is that fine? Because at that time, I didn't know what resources were valuable and what resources are not. I thought that this resource was going to be very valuable and I'm going to, you know, need to conserve it as much as possible. Yeah, back to Sucrose. So, what do you build on Sucrose? Sucrose? Sucrose. Sucrose. I'm tired. My throat hurts. Energy recharge and EM. How much EM do I have on her? 860. More than enough. I have her on a sacrificial fragments. That plus her first constellations means that I'm always going to E a lot and she's going to get her ultimate off cooldown, basically. And the artifact set is obviously Viridescent Venereer. We can go through them real quick. We have Elemental Mastery and Energy Recharge on the flower. We don't care about anything else except Energy Recharge, Elemental Mastery. 37, 16.8. Eurus. psychopath. Did you build her as a swirl DPS or as a pure Animo DPS crunch? Elemental Mastery on the stands, of course, with some energy recharge substat. Elemental Mastery main stat, energy recharge substat on the goblet. Same thing with the circlet, except it's missing the energy recharge. I could probably find one, since it's the off piece, I can probably find one that's better with some energy recharge in the substats. The question is, why? I already get her ultimate off cooldown because of like the triple ability cast that I can do. I've never been in a situation where I was like, man, I wish I had my Sucrose ultimate up. If only I had more energy recharge. The only time when I don't have my Sucrose ultimate up is because I completely missed my E and didn't hit anything on with it. So it didn't reset and didn't give me any characters. Pure Animo DPS. My god. What are you making the poor innocent little girl do? She's on her villain arc with you, I see. Do you run her with Farazan? Super run them all as DPS run. Give me a moment to go drink some water. My throat is beginning to hurt. Just a moment. Just a moment. I swear to God, there's 8 viewers right now. By the time I'm back, if that number is lower, I'm gonna be really sad. Okay, I'll be back. Just a moment. I'm gonna drink some water and get a bottle of water. God, it's down. One of you left. It used to be 8. Now it's 7. Who left? To be fair, I've seen their Sucrose and she's pretty good. I do not play the game. Nessa, you don't play the game. I don't really use my Sucrose anymore, so I don't have a team for her. Oh, that's sad. You can, if you have Farazan, especially Farazan level 6, should be good with any main DPS and main Animo DPS. Okay, let us. Oi, 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 Rahma, oi! But she's been my first 4-star and she's the one I mostly did the damage with, so I decided to keep building her as a DPS. Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright, we're back. Any specific character, or do I still go by order? We're almost like halfway through. I don't think we missed anyone. The MC will get back to him. I guess we can also go through these two. Well, these 3, since they are here, before we go to Diona.
I wonder when I'll be as tall as my big sister.
Oh, I'm sorry to disappoint. Okay, we'll go to Dory. I'm sorry to disappoint. I started building her. I wanted to play her because I thought her animations were so cute. All right, that she has like sits on a slime and does everything. I just couldn't justify. I started building her. I never finished. I wanted to give her this, and she's not built. I'm sorry. I just couldn't find a way. I'm still thinking of a way to like build her and make her work. See, I even leveled up her talents to level 9. I just couldn't justify it, man. I'm sorry to disappoint you, Nessa. I really wanted to build her and play her because her animations were just so cute with a little slime in the lamp or genie in the lamp or whatever she calls it, fighting for her. I might look into seeing if I can build her in some way as a DPS. But that'll be much later. Unfortunately. Let's go back to Shinkui. She kind of is. Like, I really tried to cope. But the problem is, if I remember correctly, she doesn't generate that much energy. And she's only useful when, like, you have a tether. With her ultimate. Like, she's very gimmicky. Yeah, like she summons something, a genie, and then there is a tether between you and that genie, and nearby characters connected to the character will continuously. It's very gimmicky. I still want to test her out someday and see if I can build her properly, but I stopped. It has some like weird mechanic where you need to be connected to the thing that you summon. Think of Amber when she throws Baron Bunny. Now imagine there's a line between Amber and her Baron Bunny, and you need to have the enemies in between you two, which doesn't sound that weird, but in practice it's like still very inconvenient when you can just use anything else to do the same job. I'll still think about building her though. Yeah, I didn't only level her, I also leveled her talents to level 9. I spent weekly boss materials to level her talents to level 9. Yeah. Let's go to the boring stuff. Shinkui. Alright. Built him a ton of energy recharge, 276. Crit rate and crit damage not that high. All I cared about is giving him enough energy recharge. And sacrificial sword. And buffing his ultimate damage, basically, as much as possible. Because he's mostly there to help Diluc most of the time, and to help Kaya in the freeze teams. Alright? Let's look at the artifacts one by one. Energy recharge and a bit of crit damage. His artifacts are not that good. I just got him built good enough to run in the teams as a support. He does his job pretty well. He's not usually the one doing most of the damage. He's usually just the one applying Hydro for the others to benefit from. You know, he's applying Hydro for Diluc to vaporize, or he's applying Hydro for Kaya to be able to freeze stuff. He doesn't need his damage to be all that high. He just needs to be able to ult off cooldown. That's why he has a lot of energy recharge. Energy recharge, other damage, and no idea why. I probably just took this piece because it has 26% energy recharge on it. If I'm gonna change it nowadays, I might switch him to an Emblem of Severed Fate set. Or I might be able, I might try to like buff his own damage a bit if I find, because I can ult off of cooldown with him, especially if I can do his 2Es thanks to the sacrificial sword. Constellations. I don't have many constellations on him. Probably, some people would say I should have probably picked him during every Lantern Rite instead of Ningguang. But where's the fun in that? You know? You wouldn't be here if I did that. I crowned his E and his ultimate, because even though, you know, I haven't built them very well with artifacts, they still do a lot of damage and they're still very useful for me. In hindsight, I maybe not have done it, but because I use them a lot, I crowned them. Next is Chongyun. Chongyun is almost exclusively used with Kaya to give him the Cryo Infusion. His own damage is not that important. That's why he has no crit rate. But he has a lot of energy recharge. He's just there to press E and regenerate some energy for himself and Kaya. Exactly, Rahma. Throwing rocks is more fun. The Favonius Greatsword. For him, more energy recharge, so that, you know, I can get his ultimate off of cooldown. And he actually runs on Noblesse Oblige. Because the Kaya team, because I only use him on Kaya's team, and I know Kaya's team will never run Bennett, because it's a freeze team, and I can't have Bennett melting everything. he is our Noblesse Oblige holder. He buffs our damage using the Noblesse Oblige. That's why I have so much energy recharge on him. The flower. Energy recharge. Nothing else matters. Elemental Mastery could have energy recharge here, but any offensive stats is just a bonus, nice bonus. He does a surprising amount of damage with his ultimate, so any offensive stats is a good bonus. Probably actually improve his artifacts. These are characters from way back in the day, so don't expect anything too amazing. His constellation isn't really relevant. On his last attack, on his last basic attack, he like releases a shockwave ice. I never use him. I never use his auto attacks long enough to get the last one to use this. And his talent is 9/9 and 1. You could probably build him as a DPS if you want. It's totally possible as a cryo DPS. I didn't bother. I already have Kaya, and he's there to help him. Barbara, the first healer, and used to be considered a S tier character. Used to be considered an S tier character, and used much like Fischl, she used to be given out like hotcakes. You know, they'd given her out so much. She was my first C6 character, I believe. All you care about Barbara is her healing percentage, her HP, and her energy recharge a bit. And that's basically what I've built her for. She doesn't have as much HP as Zhongli, but it's enough to heal, especially with her ultimate. Basically, instantly heals everyone on the team. She has the Thrilling Tales, so she can give another damage buff for my Kaya. So basically, Kaya, on top of all the crit rate buffs that he gets, you know, he also gets the Noblesse buff from Chongyun, and then the Dragon Slayer's Tales from Barbara, which is, you know, the placeholder for Jean. A 4-year-old placeholder. Jean would usually just give the VV buff, but Thrilling Tales is also good. Artifacts is the Maiden of the Beloved, of course. Yeah, Rama. It's only polite. It's only polite. It depends on the character. Some characters I'm rude to. Some characters I'm like, shut up, and I you know, just interrupt them. Yeah, just HP and energy recharge. That's all you care about here. It's not that interesting, so I'm just gonna speed run through it. HP percent, and energy recharge, HP percent and energy recharge. Her constellations, the only one that I think is very... This one is nice with, what's his face? What's his name? Tartaglia, the Hydra damage bonus. Or if you're using her as a main DPS. Most of the time I just use her with Kaya though, so, charged attacks, can only useful if you're using her as a main DPS, which is fun. If you use her, you're based. This is one that's actually quite nice to have. I'm not gonna say like it's meta or anything, but it's nice to have. Sometimes in the middle of the Spiraling Abyss, I like my character dies and I think I'm gonna have to restart, and then, you know, they come back to life and I remember like, oh yeah, Barbara. I forgot I have her on the team. It only works once though, every 15 minutes, so. And you lose all of your energy from the character who died. So, almost halfway through. I think we stopped at Diona last time, before we went back for these for Chongyun and what's his face. Diona, she's also used a lot. She is the choice healer and shielder and sustainer, overall sustainer and buffer for the Diluc team. When I'm not using Barbara. Why? Because let's look at her build. You don't care much about her damage. You mostly care about HP for her shields and energy recharge for her ultimate. Alright? And that's... The sacrificial bow is... I know some people say that Favonius is technically better, but the nice thing about this... Yeah! Yeah, crunch. That's what happens when you don't wish for new characters. And I've been playing for 4 years. So the fun thing about Diona with the bow, you see how the ability here is says after damaging the opponent with an elemental skill, the skill has a 40% chance to end its soul cooldown. So whenever you use your skill, there's only a 40% chance to end your cooldown. Here's the fun thing about Diona with this weapon. Her E, her skill, when you hold it, it will fire 5 icy paws. Alright? And each one of these 5 has a 40% chance to reset your cooldown. Alright? It's not like you only have one 40% chance, No, it rolls 5 times. And if any of these 5 ones, land the 40% chance, then you reset your cooldown. To this day, every time I've used her E, I've reset the cooldown. Of course, when, the 30 seconds were up. There hasn't been a day where I didn't reset her cooldown with this. Because the chances of you losing a 40-60 5 times in a row is very, very, very low. So that's why I have that. And her artifacts are HP and healing effectiveness, just to boost her healing a bit more, boost her healing and shielding a bit more. I'm not gonna go into them because I don't think you'd be very interested in, looking through HP and energy recharge artifacts. I'm just gonna go through them real quick just in case someone is. That's about it. The reason why I like her is because I have her at C6. I don't remember on what banner I ended up getting her. Maybe the Zhongli banner. This one is good for energy needs. This one is only good for co-op. You give your friends a shield. This one is not very useful unless you're playing some weird Diona thing. This one is very useful. Her ultimate basically becomes something like a Bennett ultimate, but for EM instead of what's it called? Instead of attack. Alright? It says when your HP increases the healing income by 30%, basically it increases the healing if your character is lower than 50 HP, but if you're more than 50 HP, you get 200 elemental mastery. 200 elemental mastery if you're, just free right away. That's why I like to put her on my Diluc team, because usually I have either Sucrose or Venti on the team, and I used a Diona's ultimate first, and then Venti's ultimate just does way more damage. He goes from 800 elemental mastery to 1000. And all the vaporize and melt reactions become much, much more painful in this field. And of course, I have her almost maxed but not crowned. Her E and her ultimate. She's a good shielder and sustainer. She can hold herself well on the other team who doesn't have Zhongli or Bennett. That's it for Diona. We can go for Beidou. Oh, I forgot. What did I build her as? I think I built her as full energy recharge as well, so she can burst. She can use her ultimate most. Beidou used to be one of the favorite, one of the characters that had a very dedicated audience early in the game. I remember because of her people who used her as a main DPS, using the I'm sorry, I cut her off. The E. It used to be one of the most fun mechanics people had with the game, and I think people still do, of being able to parry attacks and deal a lot of damage with that, and I'm tempted to build her as a main DPS and use her E and practice using it. Yeah. So, she's really useful with Fischl. I can't remember specific teams. Oh, I remember a specific team I used her for. Back when I tried to use the explosive sniper Yanfei team. Which I'll get to when I get to Yanfei. But yeah, I gave her the fish. which seemed, you know, fitting. Also to help her from not developing scurvy. And her artifact set is full Emblem of Severed Fate, so she can have her burst off cooldown as much as possible, and increase her burst's damage with the energy recharge. You know, 24 energy recharge here, 11 here, 11 here with some elemental mastery, 17 here, and no energy recharge here, but a good crit trait and some elemental mastery. Yep. For constellations, I got quite a few. You can go through them. I have her at C4, which is good. If I get her at C6, I'll do the build of her as the main parry DPS. It sounds really fun. Basically, what you do is you always just wait for enemies to attack you so you can parry them and delete them from the game using her parry, which is really fun. We move on to Razor, who, again, was also one of the most beloved main DPSs when the game first released. I didn't have him built for the longest time, and I only built him because I was looking at my account and I was like, well, I guess I need a physical DPS. I do not have a physical DPS. I've never had the need for a physical DPS, but in case I do, I have him built now. Could have more crit rate. Didn't bother to improve his crit ratios because I don't use him as much, but I have him at level 90. I have his weapon at level 90. I got this. This is the, what's it called? Dragon Spine weapon. You know? Got her at level 90. I already got an, you know, might as well to put it to use. Double 25% physical damage buff. Artifact set. I never ended up using him, unfortunately. I mean, I tried using him a few times. The biggest pro about him is that he has a JoJo stand. You know, if you use him, Fischl, who else? Shenhe, perhaps. And who else has a JoJo stand? I forget. But you can make a JoJo team with like him, Fischl, Shenhe, because I know her ultimate, she summons like a copy of herself. I can't remember, but yeah, you can have a JoJo team with him. I have him at C2, but it's really irrelevant. I rarely ever used him, but I have him at 999 just in case. Now, a character that I did actually use, and I should probably just go by the characters that I use more often than not, because I think I'm losing some people when I'm not, is Lisa. I ended up building. I didn't have her built for a long time, but I felt like it's such a waste, and I had an idea when Sumeru was released. No, I don't think Ayato counts crunch, unfortunately. Although I can see with the like ora thing. Oh no. I'm talking about stands, people with stands. Anyway, Lisa. I decided to build her when after Sumeru was released and Dendro was released, so I can make an aggravate team because I came up with a diabolical team. Basically, what is one of the main advantages of Lisa? All right, you know what is the main advantages of Lisa? She is, to my knowledge, the only character, and I might be wrong, there's probably another one, but at least base kit that has defense decrease. Okay? Usually there is, you either buff your own elemental damage or you shred the enemy's elemental resistance. Alright? However, there are very few things that reduce the enemy's defense, which is a completely different thing. And Lisa does with her ultimate. So that's a really unique and good thing if you want to use her in a team as like a debuffer and an ultimate bot. Just, you know, have her build on energy recharge and spam her ultimate off cooldown. That's a really good way to do it. So, but I had a different team in mind. I wanted Lisa to be my sort of main DPS. So I built her with this. I was thinking, and this is why I didn't refine the second Skyward Atlas, to level up the second Skyward Atlas and give it to Lisa. I might still do that. Or I might give her one of the billion Witsits that I got from the wishing session. I'll have to think about it. I'll have to mull it over. Her stats are 50% crit rate, 156% crit damage, respectable attack, not as much as energy recharge as I want, but if I'm building as a main character, I have to make sacrifices to get more damage. I can probably min-max her more if I do more artifact domains, but yeah. She's on Thundering Fury because the team that I'm going to run her with has to do with Dendro, right? Crit rate, Elemental Mastery, Flower, crit damage and crit rate and Elemental Mastery, Feather, crit damage and crit rate, Sands with an Elemental Mastery, what's it called? Sands? Electro damage with crit damage and crit rate in the Goblet with a crit damage and some crit rate on the Circlet. Why, oh why do I have her at 999? Because I like her in this team, which is the Aggravate team. So, I wanted to do a Lisa team. What are the strong things about Lisa? Her ultimate is really good, and her charged E is really good. It does a lot of damage, especially if you trigger a reaction. And what is the best reaction to trigger with Lisa? I don't want to use her with a Pyro character and use Overload because you'll blow them away out of the range of your ultimate. So I found that the best reaction would be Aggravate with Dendro. Alright, so this team is Lisa, our main DPS. Fischl is there to sort of feed Lisa energy to try to get her ultimate as much as possible. Sadly, it doesn't come off cooldown as I wish, but Fischl still helps her with energy requirements. The Traveler, because he's the best Dendro applicator that I've done. Hello, Voxy. I'm just going through characters. I can go through, after I'm done going through them, I can go through any character that you missed that you wanted to hear. So the Dendro MC here is to be the Dendro applicator for her to trigger, what's it called? The Aggravate reaction on. And Zhongli is there specifically for the interruption resistance. Because the worst thing about Lisa is when you're charging her E, it takes way too long. Alright? And if you get hit during it, it cancels the whole thing. See? I'll start changing it now. And now it's ready to hit. You know, so there's like a really long delay on that. So whenever I have Zhongli, not only does he reduce the elemental resistance of all enemies nearby, but also he'll provide, you know, safety for Lisa, so she can use her E properly. And I get to listen to her whenever I'm adventuring. See? She has a nice voice, nothing lewd. What are you thinking about? You missed him showing character builds. I can go over anything at the end again. If you missed anything that you wanted to watch, you wanted to see specifically. But yeah, that's Lisa. And I think I went through her. Yeah, I went through her constellations and everything. Next up, I think, is Kali. Well, I had to build her because she was my only other Dendro character other than the main character, other than the MC. I only got Kirara after the wishing session and Al-Haytham, I guess. So I had to build her. I know people say she's not that good. Yes, Loki Spooky. I chose to C6 Al-Haytham because I think I said it in the video if you came from the video. I like the historical character he's based off of, and I like his role in the story and his personality, And I think I would like his what is it called? His gameplay. I just relate to him a lot. Arlecchino, I gotta say, Arlecchino was the closest one that ever got me to like change my mind and want to like C6 another character instead, was Arlecchino. If Alhaitham wasn't released, it would have probably been Arlecchino, if not Dainsleif in the future. Especially with her special VFX with her scythe. But, you know, I'm a dedicated man. I'm a loyal guy. No, she doesn't. What are you talking about, Foxy? I mean, she's groaning out of tiredness. Yeah. So, pretty standard. I gave her the Favonius bow because I just need her to apply as much Dendro as possible whenever I'm using her. And I'm only using her if the Dendro MC is there on the other team. Deepwood set, of course. Either her or Dendro MC is going to be the Deepwood carrier for Alhaitham currently. It's probably going to be Dendro MC, but I'll still look through it. Just as much energy recharge in EM as possible. Couldn't get lucky on the EM much. I actually probably could upgrade her artifacts. Simply because I farmed the domain a lot and I have a lot of options to go through. It would be worthwhile someday to just sit and go through all of these. And like just level up whatever seems good. Either for Kale and the Traveler, or for in the future Nahida and any other Dendro characters that I get. Alhaitham X Albaz. Listen. 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 Please do not ship me with men. Please, I beg you. I do not want my mother to see that. I'm really straight, please. I hope the microphone picked that up. Anyway. Especially since it would be sort of like self-cessed in that case. I said I relate to him a lot. Anyway. Yeah. Nothing else to show here. I got C2 on him. You don't have to ship him with anyone. It's fine. It's fine. You don't have to ship him with anyone. Listen, I just ignore it, alright? He's devoted. Alhaitham is married to his studies, alright? He's married to his free time and his studies and his soundproof headphones. Her talents are at 9-9, like everyone else that I've built. You don't have who? Whoa. Oh. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. Next up, Yanfei. I tried building her. I wanted to try a fun build idea I had. And I think I watched someone actually do it and I got the inspiration from them. Basically a charged attack, long range, overload. I wanted a character that uses the overload reaction. It always, like, I found it annoying that there is a reaction that causes an explosion that no one used. Alright? The explosions are cool. Okay? Said the people on 9 Anyway. Explosions are cool. But the reason no one ever uses that reaction is because it blows enemies away, and you have to waste time and stamina running to them and fighting them. So, if you're already a ranged character with a lot of range, then overload reactions are good for you to keep enemies away and stagger them. Right? Ignore that, Nessa. uh. So, I tried to build her for that. It was early on, and I didn't fully understand how stuff went, so I got like sort of caught in between building her for attack and building her for EM. At the time, I didn't fully understand that reactions like overload does not do not scale with EM and do not scale with crit, and they only scale with elemental mastery. But also, I think at the time I didn't have many options in terms of what's it called, books in terms of catalysts. So the idea for this team, if I am to find, we can do this domain. I am here, and I can show you what the idea for the team is. Is that Boxy? I'm gonna ignore. I don't want to get cancelled so soon. All right. I'm still trying to grow myself. I'll do it once I get a bit larger. What team do I not care about? Did I really delete the team? She used to be here somewhere. I guess I don't use the taser team at all, so I can re-put Yanfei here. It used to be Yanfei, this, and Bennett, I think. So Yanfei is the main character that triggers overload. Beidou is good to apply electricity, to apply electro while I do my charged attack things. And Fischl is to give Beidou energy, and Bennett is just for damage. You missed nothing, Flying Sonic. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So let's hope I can do the demonstration properly and I don't screw it up. Okay, so the idea is I'd stay away and I'd basically blow them away like this, you see? Like keep them at a distance. You see how they keep getting staggered and knocked away? Yeah, it's a bit tricky though because once I use my ultimate on Yanfei, I cannot switch out. But that's the basic idea: to keep enemies away, and use the overload reaction and Yanfei's charged attacks to deal damage at a distance. Oh, don't you worry. You'll forever be immortalized in the early live streams and videos that I make, and I'll remember you. Don't worry. Assuming that I'll ever get big, which I doubt. We have Shivers now, and she's like a Bennett Kazuha hybrid. She buffs characters if you do overload. You know, she was one of the characters that I just didn't, for some reason. Yeah, she came out at a time where I was busy, around like the release of Fontaine. I was really busy at the time that I missed actually a few events. I missed the Farina, I missed the Fermine event completely, and the Farina event I didn't have time to play the story, I just had time to play the minigames. So I didn't get to see her introduction or what she does. I want to watch videos of people's playthrough so I get caught up on the story there. But yeah, that's why I do not know much about her. But she sounds interesting if she's overload.
I created another universe and founded paradise for I, Fischl, and the Prinzessin der
Okay. Okay, who's left? We did Kale. We did you. We did everyone up here. Yes. We can go to Qiangling. I'm surprised she's this far down. I'm surprised no one talked about Aloy yet. But fair is fair. Wow, did I build her with a lot of energy recharge and some crit rate and crit damage. She's one of the best units in the game. No. Rama, no, I promise, no. I promise not. You gotta understand, chat is on the second screen to my right, okay? And I see everything tilted to the right, so the last letter of everything is smaller. So the H looked smaller from my perspective. It looked like an N. Are you German, Crunch? Imagine if some Sumeru character randomly did that, randomly spoke Arabic. Like if Al-Haytham said, I don't know, let's see, what's one of his voice lines?
The scribe's work is simple, which is exactly why I took the position.
You could just imagine he just said, the scribe's work is simple, alhamdulillah. Which is exactly why I took the position.
Book learning alone is not enough to cultivate intelligence. All those scholars in the academia are prime examples. It's a little early for me.
Yeah, I speak German, but I'm from Poland. You're gonna be in pain when I learn German. I had to live in Germany for like 13 years. Oh, nice. Oh. So, I was talking about Qiangling. So, of course, a person who is a compulsive hoarder and an ultra farmer like me got her the catch at R5, which is her best weapon, I believe. A lot of fish died for this, but it was worth it. I wish they did more stuff like this, by the way. More unique minigame stuff that you can get specific weapons that are actually good on some characters. Maybe not as annoying as fishing, but stuff like that. Bread and water in a restaurant. Ha ha ha. Alright. See, she's on full, what's it called? Emblem of Severed Fates. Her flower has 22% energy recharge and 44 elemental mastery. Her feather is 12% energy recharge and some good offensive stats for extra damage. Her... I don't remember, why did I put her on elemental mastery instead of... I guess for all reactions it buffs them. But 20% energy recharge. And some crit rates. The pyro damage bonus with 18% energy recharge and 65 elemental mastery. And finally, the crit rate with 12% energy recharge and 47% elemental mastery. Pretty good artifacts for her so far. Again, she's another character that people would say, you should probably have picked her for the Lantern Rite instead of Ningguang. But she's already good enough. I know that this one is really good. I probably it's either her or Yao Yao next Lantern, right? Since I already have Ningguang at C6. Getting this would be really good. Increasing the time for Pyronado would be really nice. And her talents are 9, and her ultimate is crowned. And her auto attacks are at 7 because at the beginning of the game, people used to think she's, again, one of the best. Diluc was the top tier DPS character, and then you had Qiangling. She was like the budget, really good second tier DPS character for you to use. Physical damage Qiangling with the Crescent Pike used to be all the rage. That used to be the strong character for you to use before, they released more stuff. That's about it. Now, we move on to the next character, Faruzan, who I don't really use. I just have her because... Okay, I'm just kidding. We'll talk about Aloy just as soon as I read chat. One moment. Brott and Wasser Bittel. I got to experience getting the catch for my raid, and I was pretty drained by the end. Or you can get her in shop. Oh yeah, right, that's right. I can get Qiangling in the shop. Probably. Now my boy is neglected and bench Ice Boy gone. Who is neglected and bench Ice Boy is gone? Anyway, Aloy, the truly neglected character. Why oh why would I get her to level 80? And why oh why am I considering to get her to level 90? Are you a fan of her because you played Horizon Zero Dawn? Or are you really a big fan of her in Genshin Impact? Voxy Chongyun. I still use him whenever I use Kaya. Sometimes with Luke when I want to melt, but most of the time with Kaya. So, Aloy. I upgraded all of her talents to level 9, and I upgraded her to level 80. I still didn't give her a weapon because I didn't have any DPS weapons at the time. However, I remember how I said I didn't build Child because I didn't have any good weapons for him? I didn't build Aloy because I didn't have any good weapons for her either. However, I do have a build in mind for Aloy. Alright? I do have a build in mind for her, which I was starting to work on. The build is 4-piece Lava Walker Salvation on Aloy. I know why put a pyro set on a cryo unit, but listen, hear me out. It doesn't say increase pyro damage, alright? It says, the 4-piece says, increase damage against opponents affected by pyro by 35%. Alright? Okay? Understood? I wouldn't call her like that, but here's why I wanted to build her. I looked at her kit, alright, and I saw that her ultimate, and I believe she just throws a big arrow at something. Alright, she just deals a big burst of damage to something. You know, she just throws one big cryo arrow and deals one singular burst of damage all at once. Alright? So, I was thinking, maybe I could build her as like an alt nuke bot in a pyro team. Okay, yeah, I'm literally cooking here. So what the team will be, I didn't flesh out the idea completely because I didn't have weapons to make it work. You know, because like I was thinking about the idea and then I looked at the weapons and I saw I didn't have any DPS weapons at the time. Now I kind of do. I might use a stringless for her, but I'll see. What the idea is that I'll have a pyro character apply pyro onto an enemy. Okay? Thus, the enemy would be affected by pyro. Then, I will use the ultimate on them, which would be a big burst of cryo damage, which will be doubled because it's being melted, or 1.5x'd, whatever it is. Alright? Plus the Lava Walker buff, because she'll get an extra 35% damage on that. Alright? So, basically what I wanted her to be is like, you know how you have your main DPS and then you have your sub DPS that's also doing some damage off the field a bit, and maybe you have then your support who's there to do some healing. Okay? What if you had a main DPS and then a nuke on the side, you know? Like, yeah, you do some damage, you do some damage with your main DPS and with your supports and buffers, and maybe you have a sub DPS as well. But then, once your nuke is fully charged, which means Aloy's ultimate is fully charged. You just apply pyro to an enemy, alright? You choose the enemy that you don't want to be there anymore. You know, you apply pyro to them, and then you switch to Aloy, and you just ult. And it kills them. That's my thinking. I still wanted to see what I can do with her abilities and maybe the charge shots, if there's anything I can do with her charged attacks and her E. But like I said, the whole plan stopped because I didn't have the weapon, good enough weapon for her. Might resume it after I'm done with Al-Haytham. See, even without wishing, there's a lot of things, a lot of ideas that I wanted to try without even wishing. You know, I had the Kaya team that I did, that I mentioned to you. I think this was the last character, so I can start talking about the teams. Yeah, after Aloy, Faruzan, I got her. I never used her because she's only a support for characters that main DPS, Animo main DPS characters that deal Animo damage. Never used her. I got Dory, built her, never ended up, tried building her, started building her, stopped midway because I never ended up using her. Same thing with Xianyun. I started building her, 9 on everything. Never ended up, completing the build with artifacts because I didn't know what to do with her yet. Amber actually is one that I still wanna see if I can do charged attack build with. I think the idea I had is like a charged attack melt team or vaporize team with Amber. Still need to think about it. She's 3 level 9s. Yeah. Everything else you see here after this point is either stuff that either I got very recently, like Charlotte. I got her like very recently before on the standard banner, before I did the wishes for Al-Haytham. Or it's stuff that I got from Al-Haytham's banner. You know, stuff that I haven't built. So, like I was saying,
You worry about the well-being of my retinue during my impromptu absence.
I'm sure the good people of the Adventurers Guild are absolutely fine, mein Fräulein.
I created another universe and founded paradise for I, Fischl, and the Prinzessin der Verirrt.
okay, that's 2 voice lines in a row, which is weird. Like I said, even without wishing for that long, I still had a lot of ideas for teams and compositions and builds that I wanted to try that I never got around to try. So, like, wishing is very much just a FOMO thing. You know, it's very much just a psychological thing. You still have so much to do, even if you stop wishing for years. You know, like I built this freeze theme that I wanted, and it works well on the specific circumstances when it's needed. It's useful against hordes of ruin guards or ruin machines, you know, because they get you freeze them so they don't hurt you as much, and they are weak to elemental damage, which cryo is. I have my Geo team, Unga Bunga team. I have my Diluc team, which is like standard, it's not that creative. Child team, again, not that creative. I had this team, which I had fun experimenting with. I remember I fought Primo Geovishaps with it. And like it's a game of keeping enemies away from you with explosions. It can be pretty fun for you to try if you want to try it out. I don't use it much. That's strange name, something more. Explosive taser. Yes, exactly. That's part of the reason why I stopped wishing as well, you know? Like, not explosive taser, what am I talking about? Explosive sniper. Yeah. This is the Delusion Child build. It's basically Child with his delusion on. When you have 2 cryo characters with him, he's doing electro damage more than he's doing hydro damage. The Lisa build that I wanted to do. This is the placeholder for Al-Haytham. Yeah, there's this exploration build. I said I use Lynette for my exploration. Whenever I'm doing exploration, I always have Kaya, Venti, and another Animo character. Usually it used to be Sucrose or the MC because those are the only animo characters that I have. But when I got Lynette, I started using her because I can use her as a budget Yelan, you know? Oh, well, I screwed it up. But the point is, you get the passive from Kaya, which is this. Decrease your stamina consumption by 20% when sprinting. Alright? Plus, when you have two animo characters on your team, let me do this real quick. When you have two animo characters on your team, you also decrease your stamina consumption by a further 15% and increase your movement speed by a 10%. Alright? And all of that, plus, whenever I'm adventuring as well, I eat one of these, which also decreases the stamina consumption by 25% for 900 seconds. Let's test out the difference between when you have all of these available and when you do not. Okay? Let us... Where can we test it out? We can test it out in Leeway. And like run in a straight line and see how far we will get without all of these buffs and with. Just to show you how good this feels. And then I'll talk more about other teams that I have like wanted to try but never got the time to do so. So I think that way is the way I want to run. Yep. So let's pick a normal team, okay? Let's say I'm just using my normal Unga Bunga team. It's not optimized for exploration, it's not optimized for anything. Usually you want to use the tallest male character you want because the way that male characters are modeled, they run the fastest. Don't worry. To make you feel better, ladies, tall female characters are the fastest swimmers in the game. So, this is without anything, alright? Let's see from here, how far can we go? And I'll try to be as like straight as possible. About here, a bit earlier, you know, at the cat almost. We ran out of stamina. Now, what happens when we try to do it all over again, except with all of the buffs? Yeah, so about the cat. So I ran the cat. Let's switch to our team. So we have the speed buff from Kaya, the speed buff and stamina consumption from the animo units, and we will eat one delicious Barbados ratatouille. All right, we'll have that scene from Ratatouille where you know you're that taste tester and you drink it and you remember your childhood. All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Not only is like stamina draining much slower, we're also much faster if you like can realize. Oh. Oh. I'm gonna have to stop being straight now. I mean, I'm gonna stop running straight. Very useful for exploration. And just use it with this whenever you run out of stamina, and then continue running. It's just amazing. It's just great. I use this whenever I need, whenever I was doing the, what's it called? The, God, I forget. The R&R quest, the long R&R quest where you just have to go back and forward, and talk to this person, and talk to that person, and do this puzzle, and do that puzzle, and go into a dream, and come out of a dream, and go back into the dream, and fix that tree, and fix this rock, and fix that person, and bring that R&R, and cook for that person, and do that soup, and bring that water. I use this. Otherwise, I would have lost my mind. Now I have to say there's a way to improve this, or not to improve it, more to make it efficient. If you have Kazuha, then you have a 2-in-1. Alright? Because I don't know if it'll show. Another reason why I want it. Yeah, okay, it'll show. Because Kazuha has the same exact passive as Kaya. Unfortunately, they do not stack, but what that means is that if you have Kazuha, you can basically replace Kaya and Venti, or any other animal character you have, with Kazuha. So you'll have, he is one of the 2 animal you need for the animal resonance, and he has the speed buff. So all you need is another animal character, and then the other 2 could be Rosaria, because Rosaria also has a speed buff during the night, and you can have Rosaria for a speed buff at night, and Dehya for a speed buff during the day. Here. Rosaria's has a speed buff during the night, 10%, and Dehya during the day. Whereas Dehya, I'm pretty sure she had during the day. Yeah. You can Wanderer could be your second. Could be your second animal after what's it called? With Kazuha, you can have Kazuha and Wanderer. And you basically have my entire team. Basically, you have the 3 characters I have in 2. I don't think he has any. He doesn't have any passive that helps him, but he'll be the second animal unit that helps you with this. And his ability is already good for exploration. All right, for you to be able to fly whenever you like. So you will be able to sprint fast and without losing much stamina. And whenever you need to like climb up somewhere, instead of climbing, you can just switch to Wanderer and fly up. That would be the perfect exploration team. Kazuha, Wanderer, and then whoever else you need. You know, Dehya. If you're walking towards during the day, you can put Dehya and whatever 4th character you want. Fill it in. You can experiment with it. You know, it's something that you can think about. Oh, what did I miss? 1 moment. But 2 when I do it eventually. Yeah, Crunch, you're gonna you're gonna hate them. If they voiced it, I would have been fine with it. I would have had fun having like adventures with the little fairies with the funny names and the funny ways of speaking. But because I have to read all of their like gibberish, it was so annoying. Yeah. What other teams did I want and never got like the chance to make? Did I say? Yeah, there's the alloy team that I talked about. What other team? I wanted to make it like an amber team. I never got around to do it. I wanted to make like a Noelle with a Goro, another Geo team. I never got around to do that. You know, I didn't have the time. Dory, I wanted to figure out a way to make Dory playable in any team at all. I'm not gonna make her meta, of course. Just make her playable. You know, Genshin Impact is a PvE game. It's an easy PvE game. You don't have to worry about meta. All right. It doesn't matter. You're not playing League of Legends. You're not playing Overwatch. You know, the enemies are not playing the meta characters, so you have to play the meta characters to win. Meta characters in this game just means who kills the fastest or who deals the most damage. How fast can you win? All right. So like I said, I'm assuming you mean this food. Arnie. I'm assuming that's your name, Arnie. You get this from a mission here somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. You either talk to someone or you do a mission here somewhere. 1 moment, let me look it up. I got it during exploration once, and I was very happy when I did. Barbados Ratatouille. Food item. Oh wait, I think I might be wrong. Yeah, sorry, it's not during it. It's not in Cape Oath. It's in here, in Stormbearer's Point. Here, and what you do is you talk to a lady. We can go see the nice, kind lady. And use our speed to do so. Deja vu.
What's the hurry?
Zip on up.
I forget to hold it. There's a lady called Vind here. You know, very subtle name. Very, very subtle name. You talk to her and she should give it to you. And that's how you get it. Should have been standing here patrolling this area since 1.0. Hello, sister. Yep. That's about it. What else would you like to see in this showcase? We've went through most of the teams and all of the characters that I have. Who else would you want to any other questions you have? Any characters you want to look at again? Any other items or things you want to see? Yes, you should talk with the NPCs. I have to do that every day in real life, so you have to do it in game as well. That is the Grand Narukami Shrine, if I'm not mistaken, that you're praying to. Isn't it not? It is, yeah. It's the Grand Narukami Shrine. No one else has any other questions? Questions, something you're curious about, some character that you missed that you want me to go over again? Anything else? Oh.
What's that over there?
There's a temple in that direction.
Seems all the
I would want to see your child. I think, well, I'm not married yet, and I do not have any children. I think I wasn't there when you were reviewing your characters. Yeah, sure. I'll show it to you. Child. So, the thing about Child is, first of all, I only got him because I was going for Ning Wang, and she was on his banner, and I wanted her constellations. I didn't get. I think I got one copy of Ning Wang, and I ended up getting accidentally getting him, so I stopped. Yeah. But for the longest time, I didn't have him build because I just simply didn't have the weapon for it. You know. See, before I did all the wishing, were basically all the bows that I had. You know. Except the Hamayuma. These were all the bows that I had. So like Elemental Mastery, Energy Recharge, Elemental Mastery, Energy Recharge. This I actually didn't have as well. This was like a recent event weapon. So if I was gonna build him, this was my best option, and it still wasn't good because the charge attack, you know, the charge attack effect. So that's why I didn't build him for the longest time until I did some more exploration in Inazuma and unlocked this bow. And when I did, I finally built him. These are his stats right here. 50 to 144. I think it's pretty good enough. With a good amount of energy recharge and a fat hydro damage bonus. These are his artifacts. crit damage, crit rate, nothing too crazy. 31 crit damage here, which is nice. 3 crit rate, 21 crit damage. And 6.6 crit rate, 28 crit damage. And the crit rate here. Yeah, Rahma. That's the Grand Narukami Shrine over there. But the Vind is supposedly looking out for storms, and she's very paranoid about storms. So I haven't triple nined. No, this is not a crown. This is just his passive. It increases his auto attack level by 1. That's about it. All right.
Hurry.
There's nothing else anyone else wants to ask. We can wrap this up. Is there anything else anyone else wants to add or ask?
Far more effective in the rain.
It's your time to do so now. We can go this while everyone haven't claimed that yet. Did that give me 200? Didn't it used to give 150? They added 50, huh? Okay, so I assume everyone got the questions answered. I wanted to ask again if you'd like to see my sucrose. All good if not. Hmm. How do I guess I have to add you, is that right? Isn't that right? Here's something. You can send it to me on Twitter. Send me the screenshots on Twitter of your stats, and I'll try to pull it up here now. Let me see. Can I log into Twitter? I won't be able to pull it up on stream. I don't. Just send me the screenshots on Twitter, and I'll figure it out. Send me the screenshots on Twitter. Oh. Oh yeah, for you exploration team, if you do have Hazo. Oh yeah, Hazo as well. Yeah. Hazo also works for that. Flying Sonic. You're correct. He's better than Kaya in that case because he's also animal. But Kazuha is still better for like. Kazuha is slightly better because of his skill. He can like easily jump up places quickly with his skill. Instead of like Venti having to charge up a bit. But yeah, Hazel also works perfectly, and he's probably a more budget option. Yeah, Hazel is great. Da 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 da. All right, we are closing stream soon anyway, so hope you have a good day. Rahma. Bye bye. Have a good day. Do, do, do. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Ad Astra. Thank you for
Ad Astra Abasask. Thank you for your contribution to the Adventurers Guild. $155. Okay. I think we're done here for today. We've done everything that we wanted. Everyone asked all the questions that they wanted. And Crunch, whenever you send it on Twitter, I'll see if I can react to it next stream, live on stream. All right. Hope you have the good rest of your day. I'm gonna go now to sit a bit in the fridge to cool myself down, drink gallons of water, and make some food to eat. All right. Hope all of you have a good rest of your day. Bye bye. Thank you for coming in today. Talk to you later.